Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 232.
Yeah, he did it. All right.
Welcome aboard on this ye old steam train of geek fun that we call the Matrix. My name's Rob, and as always, is joined me. Fuck. Let me start that over. My name is Rob, and joining me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Josh.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And Brandon's not here. I don't know where he
Nope.
is, Josh.
He's at work.
Oh, okay. I've been meaning to ask him, like,
Loser.
since he moved to New York City, what's he doing for work? Like, did he get a
Movie
job?
theater.
Oh, he's at another movie theater. Nice.
Yeah, that's
I
what he's
mean,
doing.
If movie theaters in New York are anything like the movie theaters up here, I'm gonna say that sucks because movie theater jobs up here are total dog shit from what I understand. I've known a lot of people worked at movie theaters in my city and they always hated it. I don't
He
know.
hasn't said a crass word.
He doesn't say much about his personal life.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend again until he just casually mentioned it 2 weeks ago.
He is a rather quiet person.
Yes. And that's fine. To each their own. I completely understand keeping things close to your chest.
Yes.
That's fine. All right, so we are here every week talking about the week's DC Comics releases, and this is no difference. We've been doing it for 232 weeks, plus or minus a couple of weeks.
Definitely
in a row.
not minus.
I mean, we have skipped a couple of weeks.
Oh.
I mean, we did review the books eventually. We just didn't do it the same week. Like
go.
Christmas, we took a week off and we just reviewed the books the next week and had a really big show.
Huge show.
Yeah, that was
what a way
painful.
to kick off the new year.
And then the week after, we had 2 books. I was like, maybe we should have looked at the fucking calendar and thought maybe, just maybe, we could delay things another week. But
no need.
In the name of show business, entertainment, and fun, we kept it going for y'all. And the Matrix. Whoa. Right, so we got a whole slew of fun books today, and god damn am I excited to talk about some of them. Oh goodness, the second half of the show, which has changed because I had them booked for the first half of the show, but I think I appreciate Josh rescheduling to make it the second half of the show, is going to be my favorite part of the show.
I think it will as well.
Yes. All right. Should we just keep it a surprise or announce all the books now?
Let's go ahead and announce all the books now, I suppose. That
all
way.
Right. Yeah.
People don't want to hear about Action Comics. They don't have to.
Well, if they do want to hear about it, they got to wait till after we talk about Titans number 19, which is our first book. First book we will be reviewing, then Action Comics number 1082, followed by Black Lightning number 3, Nightwing number 122, The New Gods number 2, Challengers of the Unknown number 2, The Question All Along the Watchtower number 3, and Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum number 1. Special issue 1 of 1. Get it while you can.
Fractured Spectrum, damn near rectum. But tis.
God damn it, Josh. Where'd you go?
I had to change out chairs. That thing was just entirely too noisy.
I mean, fuck, you didn't make a sound. As well as some honorable mentions books, but they will not be talked about in today's episode. They will be talked about tomorrow by Josh in our new show, which is all about the honorable mentions, starring Josh by himself. Josh, is there a name for that show, or is it just like
DC, the Geek Matrix goes all in on DC honorable mentions show. How's that? That way it just fits everything in there.
it's been a bit of a mouthful, but I like it. I dig it. Is there like an acronym like SHIELD that we could use, or
No, but I should work on one.
yeah, we'll figure something out. Also keep in mind in 2 weeks will be our first episode of our Absolute show, Absolute Roundup, where we are going to be covering the month's releases for Absolute DC Comics. So far includes Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman, and soon to come Absolute Green Lantern, Absolute Flash, and Absolute Martian Manhunter. So be on the lookout for that coming very soon, where we will be talking about this month Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, and 2 issues of Absolute Batman, if I remember correctly. Because we did not cover... Unless it was absolute 2 issues of Absolute Superman. It was 1 in December we didn't cover, so I think it'll be 2 issues of Absolute Superman.
Right. Yes, there will be
Yeah.
2 issues of Absolute Superman. Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. And with that, you got any news? You're muted. I don't know why you muted yourself. You were just talking.
I was just talking.
I think it's just
No.
like muscle memory. It's like instinct for you. Just like I'm gonna start coughing any second now. Just mute the mic.
Feel it coming. No, I just want to say I'm thinking about you to Holly's family. That's all. And as far
Same
as
here.
news goes, yeah, no, there's been some stuff going on, obviously, and I haven't had the time to really get into it. Between that, having to catch up on comic books that we don't cover so that Rob and Brandon will stop yelling at me, and my newfound addiction to Marvel Rivals, it's been hard to get some things in.
We only like yell at you to stop playing Rivals for 10 minutes so you could read Ultimate Spider-Man number 12 because
so
we're
good.
both just like, fucking hell, dude, read it. It's awesome. Like, come on. I do have some news, though. DC has announced a few things coming down the line, including the Power Company Recharged coming in April. This will be a DC all-in one-shot, which will dive deeper into the new iteration of the Power Company. And the Power Company will be including Josiah Power, of course, Black Lightning, Jace Fox, Batman, The Signal, and Vixen.
Hell yes.
At least to start. I imagine there might be more coming down the pipeline, but that is what we know of so far, and that is a kick-ass team.
Hell yeah, I am so down. I'm so happy to see Vixen back in another book. She was great in her short run there with the Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And of course, Jace Fox. Maybe I was one of the few people that enjoyed it, but
I loved it.
Absolutely loved that series.
Mm.
It was great.
It was an interesting title, but I like the series.
Yeah, they definitely should have had a different title. I mean, the next Batman. You can't call yourself the next Batman if you exist at the same time as current Batman.
Which was the first? Because there was 2 titles. I was thinking of I Am Batman. Which was the one for the miniseries, and which was the one for the?
I think it was I Am, and then
title.
The Next.
Either way, both titles were like the next Batman. I get it, but like at the same time, I see what you're saying too, Josh. It's kind of weird. I Am Batman was just a weird fucking title.
Could have gone with like Jace Fox, Batman.
Yeah.
Batmanner. Batmaner.
Yeah. He's a little less bat, but more man.
And very polite.
Yes. Yeah.
Got lots of manners. Batman New York City. I mean, there are lots of different things to go with and go
Yep.
from, but neither here nor there. We've got them coming back now, at least for a little bit, and I'm happy about that.
Um, Also, we do have coming down the pipeline. Okay, let me bring that up after. Coming down the pipeline, we have Dan Slott releasing Superman Unlimited ongoing series in May 2025. And that is going to open up a story arc with an extinction level. Oh my god, ads get my way. Extinction level kryptonite asteroid shower falling to Earth and is supposed to change everything.
Oh boy.
See, okay. So the series, I'll say, the series is part of DC's Summer of Superman initiative, including Action Comics of Superman. It will feature limited and ongoing series starring Superboy, Supergirl, Crypto, and more. So there will be more super books to come, which I think is very exciting. So that's a little announcement as well. But specifically, they're talking about Superman Unlimited, written by Dan Slott and drawn by Raphael Albuquerque.
Yay!
The art, fantastic. Dan
Dan
Slott
Slott
is okay. So I'll say, as far as Spider-Man writers go, he kind of got lucky where he's not as jaded as he used to be, because the most recent run kind of vindicated him a little bit, I'll say.
After how long?
Look, I know it was fucking near 20 years, but
20 years. 20 years. You can't call maybe, possibly, much likely, very likely, probably dumb luck vindication after
that
2 decades
somehow
of
a new writer
butt
fucked up
sniffing.
Spider-Man worse than Dan Slott did.
Yeah.
I know it's an opinion I have that not everybody does. I've had conversations with people that absolutely loved Dan Slott's ASM run and said it actually saved Spider-Man and was really good and really deep and engaging. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are you reading? But that's the weirdest face I've ever seen you make.
Yeah, right. The only face possibly in reply to whether or not Dan. Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord in heaven.
Now, I will say there are moments in Dan Slott's ASM run that I have enjoyed. It wasn't all bad, but it could also be comparison bias, because I was a big fan of Straczynski's run. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a brilliant add-on to the ASM storyline. And then they just said, "Fuck it, no, bye bye Mary Jane." It was. I don't think it's all Dan Slott's fault. I really don't. I really don't. To be fair, he wasn't the only one writing ASM at the time. Back then, they had a thing called the Spider-Man Brain Trust, where there was a rotation of 3 writers.
Spider-Man Brain Trust.
Yeah,
it wasn't a brain trust that came up with that fucking idea.
No, it was Joe Quesada. Brilliant artist. Absolute shit at ideas.
You know, like I say, Brian Michael Bendis, he should never write a comic book again. He just shouldn't. He should definitely be on that showroom floor, or not showroom floor, but in that room, being a pitch man. The dude has great ideas. Somebody else just needs to write them. Quesada is kind of the anti-Bendis.
Great fucking artist. I will say Quesada might be one of my favorite artists.
But just be quiet.
His art is so fucking good. And I don't know. The Dio was way worse, I'll say.
Well, yeah. I mean, because he had a vendetta.
Despite the fact that he denies it
Who gives a shit what he denies? Fucking, I mean, all kinds of people deny shit all day long.
Yeah.
Just, I'm not stupid enough to believe it, and most people aren't either. He had a vendetta, and that's what he was. He wanted things done his way, and that's all that was going to happen. Vendetta. Joe Quesada doesn't have a vendetta. I think he just has like this gigantic wheel in his office, and he like throws down every single thought that he's ever had, and that gets one little tiny sliver, and then he just spins it fucking daily and sees what kind of stupid idea he can pump out next. I was unfairly giving God damn it, it's not Abner. Who's writing Metamorpho right now?
Al Ewing.
Al Ewing. I was unfairly giving him shit about like the voice. Like when I think of Marvel, that's that corny, indirect. It's never. I don't know. I don't typically write like Marvel stories. I don't typically endorse them in any way. Very few and far between. And for some reason, when I read the way that Al Ewing wrote Metamorpho, it felt like that was everything that I hated about Marvel writing. You could have figured out everything that was going to happen inside the issue, front to back, just by looking at the cover.
Yeah.
Because it's that generic, it's that unflavored, and honestly, I feel like I shouldn't have shit on Ewing that hard when that is mostly probably Joe Quesada.
Wait, what was Joe Quesada?
Just in general, Marvel stories sucking.
Oh, that's I don't know about that
unless you get Jonathan Hickman.
I was gonna say that there was
forefront of
a lot of good Marvel stories during Quesada's tenure.
When? What was his tenure? Like, how long was he?
I can't remember like the bookends, but he was around during the 2000s as editor in chief.
We're still in the 2000s.
I mean, the first decade.
The age of extreme.
Not the 90s. What are you talking about? The age of extreme? What the fuck?
Early 2000s. It was we were still doing the extreme shit.
Yeah. But I'm talking like Avengers Disassembled, Civil War, Siege had its moments, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion was cool.
Yeah. All of that stuff happened during his tenure. There was some interesting stuff in the X-Men books. There was stuff happening all over the place, and a lot of it was really good. Like I do think the 2000s was kind of a good period for Marvel coming out of the 90s, where everything was pouches, multiverse shenanigans, and sexiness. So
yeah.
It was a breath of fresh air.
Pouches, violence, and swimsuit issues.
Exactly. You had Extremis in Iron Man. You had Thor in Asgard with Ragnarok. You had Captain America dying. There was so
Extremis
much.
is the greatest Iron Man story ever written.
It might just be.
I'm not even gonna. I won't dispute that. I wish that would have been an Iron Man movie instead of the joke that the MCU made it. But that's a discussion for a different day.
Yeah, I need to have this discussion because I don't know what the fuck you mean by Iron Man was a joke.
Their acknowledgement to the Extremis storyline.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm referring to. Not Iron Man in the MCU.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 was not the greatest.
You can't. Ooh boy. But yeah, no, anybody that talks shit about Iron Man as far as the MCU, and this is an MCU critic like crazy.
Yeah.
If you shit on Iron Man 1, you're you're literally just doing it to start an argument. There's very little wrong with that movie
Yeah.
for what it was, when it was made, and what it ended up doing. So
It is still to this day in my top 5 MCU movies.
yeah,
And it
I
was the
mean,
first
honestly,
one.
it should be. It was
And we're
done
at
very
like
well.
what, in the 30s
Well,
in
see,
terms
the
of
thing
MCU
is
movies? Maybe the
Iron
40s?
Man, Iron Man 1 is definitely the 30s at least.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1 was made as a movie,
Yeah.
whereas the the movies that I wanted to see, like Doctor Strange, have all just been 2 hour long commercials for the next movie.
Yeah. I don't know. Doctor Strange,
Doctor Strange, it's the
not
first one
necessarily.
was the Doctor Strange. The first one was done well and good. Multiverse of Madness was nothing but that.
Yeah, it's like I've said
Just a
before
commercial
to
for the next
people,
movie.
Multiverse of Madness is good if you like Sam Raimi. If you're a Sam Raimi fan, you will love the fuck out of it. If you like his directing style, his camera work, and his like editing choices, his shade, his like
Oh no, I don't.
his
I'm not
color.
a.
Like if you're a Sam Raimi stan, you will love the shit out of that movie. But if you don't give two shits about Sam Raimi, you're going to hate that movie.
It's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, and it's a Doctor Strange story, but it could have been
Is it though?
way more.
Yeah. See,
Doctor Strange story in that it's primarily Doctor Strange in it.
but that's the thing. It isn't really. It
No,
felt
really, it's a commercial for the next fucking movie.
not even that because we don't even know what the next fucking movie is. Like
Spider Man. It was the next movie. It was Spider Man. That
yeah,
was
but
the
that
fucking.
that movie really didn't have anything to do with what happened in Spider-Man No Way Home. Um the thing about it is that it was made to be a Doctor Strange movie and it was really just Doctor Strange was there. It read, okay, I'm gonna say this in comic book terms. It read like it's a one shot that's about Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange happens to be in it. Right? It was more of a follow up to WandaVision than it ever was the first Doctor Strange movie.
I felt it was more a vehicle to bring in the next Spider Man movie that guest starred Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch wasn't in the Spider-Man
Or
movie.
not. The Multiversal Madness. That's what I think that's what that was. I think Multiversal Madness was a vehicle to bring the story over to Spider-Man with the multiverse breaking. And it just so happened to have some rather inconsequential shit with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch going on in it.
Yeah. Like it was to me it was a Scarlet Witch story.
More humor than um weight, I suppose.
How the fuck did we get from Dan Slott's writing a Superman book in April to complaining about Doctor Strange sequels in the MCU? I
Bad
was gonna
writing is
start.
bad writing.
I was gonna start going on to other fucking tangents, but I think we should rein it in a little bit. Uh,
Fair enough. We should
yeah. So
probably
Dan Slott is writing Superman Unlimited. Look for that in May, and if you're like me, you're expecting next year to have a story where Superman and Kenny Braverman switch bodies for 2 years because Conduit took one too many hits to the head and he's got terminal brain damage. He's going to die, so he needs Superman's body.
of course.
And honestly, I'll give Dan Slott this.
Strangely enough, the same thing is going to happen with the Eradicator and Handgun Shaw.
Ooh,
So weird.
yeah. Um, I'll give him this. Superior Spider-Man was a fun read, and
I liked
maybe the
Superior
best
Spider-Man. I'm
Spider-Man
not
that
going
he
to
did.
shit you.
Yeah,
You're talking about the very first one, right? Is that who wrote the first Superior Spider-Man?
yeah, that was all him.
That was great.
What do you mean first?
Yeah, there were two Superior Spider-Man runs, were there not?
I don't think so.
I think so.
I could be wrong, but
When did yours come out?
when it happened, I don't remember the year really. It was the first one. I don't know, like 2015. I don't know, something like that. So
No,
like
there's
they,
one that just came out. There, yeah, back then that one. Then there's one that's like out right now, isn't there? Or did they? Am I just remembering like advertisements for a new trade or something?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, well,
Unless there maybe is, but like I'm not keeping up with it.
nope.
But the Superior
It.
Spider-Man I'm talking about is
I
Otto
literally
Octavius.
must have. I literally must have. I must be remembering the trades. They went on sale at the end of last year, 2024. Superior Spider-Man. So that's that. I got those wires crossed. But yes, way back in 2013, that was a really good fucking. That was a really good book. I read most of that run.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
If I remember correctly, Peter was thought to be dead by. It was deep, and I don't want to get everything confused. But yeah, Peter was kind of dead, but not really dead. And Otto was being Spider Man and horrible. Who's bad guy?
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying?
Um, Dan Slott. Anywho, finally, there is one more piece of news that dropped the other day, broken by bleedingcool.com, which I've honestly, over the couple of past years, had a newfound respect for. That's mostly because comic book resources and Screen Rant are total dog shit.
Right.
So, in
The
comparison,
enemy of my enemy
Bleeding
is my
Cool's
friend.
actually not bad. So Diamond Comic Distributors has declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Which is kind of nuts if you think about like how much Diamond Distributors does. Fuck. Didn't DC like just go back to them or something? Or did they just decide to release on Wednesdays out of the blue?
I honestly don't remember. But Diamond has gone through some rather big problems since like right before COVID, and it got
Yeah.
worse. So
Right. No, that's what it is. DC left Diamond Distributors and then
right.
did a different thing, and it fucked them up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC kind of made a hard choice there, but then other companies did the same thing with Marvel, Image, IDW, Dark Horse, and apparently most recently Boom Studios have done it too. So Diamond is actually losing their contracts left, right, and center. But it's declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Uh, and apparently, Canadian company Universal Distribution intends to buy Diamond UK and Alliance Games amid the financial challenges. It's
Interesting.
a Canadian comics distributor. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I've never even heard of them.
Well, there's a good chance that soon you may.
Yeah,
There is a Canadian comic scene.
there is. So, yeah, that's another shakeup in the world of comic book retailing.
Whoop whoop.
Kind of nuts.
Kind of cool though.
Yeah,
What else you got that's newsworthy?
that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I got this little guy right here,
Fantastic.
Simon Baz. And let me just say, it is a fucking good figure.
Mm,
Like,
nice.
it
I have
comes
my
with
glasses on. I couldn't
three.
see it, but I'm familiar with it.
It comes with three different faceplates, and I was just admiring the eyes on all three faceplates. Are so fucking detailed.
Oh,
They
good, because
look
that's important.
amazing. Like, I genuinely don't know how they did it in such a mass scale.
I'll flat out not get figures that look great in every other way if I don't like the face. I won't do it. The face is what I'm going to be looking at the most, you know? It's like that's the person.
Yeah. And it comes with more constructs, and which are really cool. It's got this little hammer, it's got a fist, and it's got a drill attachment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And of
That is pretty
course,
cool.
his own lantern, which is another new design, and I like it. So, yeah. I also
So yeah,
sent
indeed.
on our Discord in the music chat, I sent a song, and I'm curious if you've ever heard it. It's an old Weird Al Yankovic song, and it's called "Trapped in the Drive-Thru," and it's one of my favorite Weird Al Yankovic songs. It's a parody of "Trapped in the Closet" by R. Kelly, which nowadays very problematic song, but
Yeah.
the Weird Al version is fan fucking tastic, and it's like a 10-minute song. And if you know the R. Kelly version, "Trapped in the Closet," you know it was a 3-part tune. And it was one long story about him sleeping with some woman. Her husband came home and him trying to get out of the house, and there was a fight or something. I didn't really fucking care. But this is about Weird Al and his wife trying to figure out where to eat. They decide to go to the drive-thru, and it's just a simple story about being in a drive-thru and ordering fucking food, but it is hilarious. When you think about how he turned it into a banger of a song. Have you ever heard it?
I it's not ringing a bell, but my brother Jared was such a massive Weird Al fan that I guarantee you I have heard it before. Everything Weird Al has ever done has blared through my house when I was a child more times than I could ever even imagine counting. To the Rob, this is like to the point where sometimes I still it's embedded in my vernacular. Come on, baby, eat my egg roll.
Is that fat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and that is not like one of the songs that like everybody knows all the lyrics to, you know. That's
No.
not pretty fly for a white guy. That's I'm fat.
Yeah.
If I eat one more pie a la mode, I'm gonna need my own zip code because I'm
Fat.
fat. I'm
I'm
fat.
fat. You know it really fat. You know I'm fat. So fat.
Really, really fat.
Yeah. When I was in high school, White and Nerdy released, and
Yeah.
that was the banger of grade
Uh,
10.
Yo, white and nerdy.
Everybody, even people that never listened to Weird Al, were like, "This song is awesome."
Right?
Of course, everybody looked at me and said, "Hey, you're white and nerdy. Do you mow your lawn?" Like, what? Fuck off.
White and nerdy, do I mow my lawn? No, you dumbass. I let my grass grow up
I
as
mean,
tall as
I
possible. And I
didn't
lose my
have a
cars in it.
lawn because I was in a rental townhouse, but
Who cares?
you have pocket
Yeah,
protectors.
fucking
What's pi to 1,000 places? Fuck off. It's pi to 2 places, bitch.
nerd. My kid knows the first 12 digits of pi.
That's impressive.
I
Still.
fucking, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like, he says, how many? Yeah, I'm like 3.14. And that's it. And you
Yeah.
know that. Quit
Yeah.
asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, I love having smart kids, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's the future. At least it better be.
mm-hmm.
No, but when you get a chance, check out that song. It is hilarious. I laugh my ass off every time I listen to it.
All right.
Yeah. I miss Weird Al. I wish we was still doing parodies.
Me too.
Yeah. Anywho, maybe we should do you want to take a commercial break?
Yeah,
And
we
then
could
we'll
probably do
jump into the
that.
books.
We could probably do that. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break right now because
Hell yeah.
Rob is forcing me to do it.
I'm not forcing you. I just have a gun in my
Do it.
hand and pointing it at your head. I don't know what you're
I
talking
see
about.
this like strongly implying I should. All right. We're gonna go on a commercial break. Please send help.
Don't. Okay. I will be right back. Gonna go
All
grab
right,
something.
then we'll both be right back.
All right.
Why, hello. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, you muted me. I don't have control to unmute myself.
Whoopsie.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Welcome back, folks.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Did anybody else watch Welcome Back, Cotter, or was it just me?
Just you. No one
You
even
never
knows
watched
what that
Welcome
song
Back,
is.
Cotter?
You said if anybody did. No, it was just you. We can't figure out why it was even on TV.
Wow. But you're old. Everybody
7
else watched
o'clock
it.
in the evening, watching something stupid on TV. Thrown down on the sofa when my wife comes in the room and sees me. This is excellent.
Oh, you're listening to the song.
Yeah. Excellent. Highly
listening to it
endorse the
right
Weird
now?
Al version. Huh?
Are you listening to it right now, or are you listening to it during break?
I was listening to it right now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Could love it. Anywho, we should probably get into the books before we run out of time.
You know what? That's probably not that half bad of an idea.
I'm full of them.
All right. Then I guess it's time to announce we are officially back from break.
I mean, I already did, but
Well, we're back again. Here we go. Rob, talk about some comic books. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's my turn.
It's your turn. With
What a
Titans.
Titanic mistake.
Yeah. On ice.
As it should be. Written by John
fucking
Layman,
love that
art
cover.
from Sergio Cuno. It is pretty good. Colors by Matt Herms and letters from Wes Abbott with a Pete Woods cover. This is there's a winter storm on the east coast of the United States, and it's pretty bad. What also is pretty bad is Killer Frost's paranoia. She's feeling some imposter syndrome and feels like she doesn't belong on the Justice League Watchtower, and nobody wants her there, and thinks every mention of the word cold or hot or, well, pretty much anything else is just people talking about her. That's up in the Watchtower. Down in Titan's tunnels, while Cyborg is working on some secret project with a conscious AI and building a body, I expect for his dad maybe. But anyway, while that's going on, Roy is expressing his concern to Dick and Donna about Rachel and her emotional instability and how he doesn't trust it. Rachel overhears, feels bad. Roy gets a little scalded, tries to make it better. Doesn't have a lot of time for any of that to process with Rachel, though, because the Titans are told that they are needed to act up against something that is down there making the ice storm even worse. With a couple of snide remarks from Cyborg, they go and find out that it is Killer Frost. She's really supposed to be a villain, yada, yada, yada. Wah, wah, wah. Somebody play me some Chemical Romance. But with some conversation that sounds like the Titans might not be fully being heard on the Watchtower, as Batman tells them that they don't get a deciding vote about what to do with Frost, even though they're the ones that just took her down. Meanwhile, we see a phone call. On one end is Deathstroke making a payment for services rendered. Much like Glimmer last time, Frost was not acting as herself. This time it was because of Clock King. This time it was because last time it was because of Clock King. This time it was because of Psycho Pirate. Deathstroke also gives him his next target, and that is the emotionally unstable, Raven. So there's a few things here. Obviously, Deathstroke's crime syndicate is growing. That's Deathstroke, Mammoth, Clock King, and Psycho Pirate now. That spells trouble. Probably not done getting bigger. Cyborg has an attitude about the Justice League. He's building a body with a voice coming from a computer that's confirming success on the body that he's building in a way that says the voice belongs to the body. And while I want to say it's Dad, the voice didn't sound like him, so I don't know. Could it be Vanadium? Maybe that wasn't her name. The android that went up against them just a little bit ago.
I don't remember. To be honest, I forgot about that book.
Anyway, Batman acting like the Titans aren't the better team. Dick and Donna doing the leadership balance dance. There's a lot going on in the Titans right now, and none of it sounds great, but it does sound like a good story. Things seem a bit iffy in Titans Town. Let's hope the team can get through all of this without it imploding. I am a huge fan of Akuna's art, and Herms makes it explode right off of the page. I thought it was a great issue, and definitely only the snowball that is starting the avalanche. I have a feeling that this is going to get a lot bigger. A lot bigger. I like this run of the Titans, and this issue is getting an 8 out of 10.
I pretty much agree with everything you said. The art was so on point this issue. Facial expressions were just a blast. That's one of my favorite parts of any team book, or even just books in general, is like if an artist can describe great facial expressions. One of my biggest pet peeves is going through a book and things happen and everybody just has the exact same face the entire fucking time. It just feels boring.
Or if they don't, the face is.
Yeah,
There are other facial expressions.
exactly.
There certainly are.
But that is one of the things that'll make a break a book for me when it comes to art style. Is
Facial
if the
expressions.
yeah, it really helps immerse the story a bit more.
100%.
Really, a lot more for me anyway. And the cover alone, you look at it, look at the facial expressions of everybody here. Look at the cover, like there's, excuse me, yeah, four of the faces are basically the same, but they're in such different ways, different manners that it just works.
It definitely does.
Excuse me, it started something stuck in my throat. Yeah. And I love the little Beast Boy as a penguin thing. That was really good choice.
Right? Hello.
No, but it was a little bit of a, I'm reluctant to say fun issue because it showcased Caitlin Snow having some really dark thoughts, but
It did, but obviously she was being mind controlled, influenced
Yeah.
with her emotions, and I mean, she's definitely not the most stable of people to begin with,
yeah,
even if she is a good person now.
she did have killer in her name for a very long time.
Very long time. And for a
Um,
very good reason.
Yeah, because she robbed banks.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
No, I'm loving the build up that John Layman is putting down, leading to this. What's it called? Anti Titans. What's the team being called?
Crime Syndicate.
Oh yeah, that's that part's fucking weird, but I'm digging the build up to
It's not
Titans
it's
versus
not weird,
Syndicate.
it's beautiful.
Is it
'Cause
though?
If it yes it is, because if we've got Deathstroke's team being called the Crime Syndicate, then that means that nobody else that is the Crime Syndicate will be showing up as the Crime Syndicate. And in DC Comics, you can't get more beautiful than that.
You know that's not necessarily true. You could have Ultraman showing up saying, "Deathstroke, what the fuck are you doing? I had this name copyrighted."
No, that's just stupid.
I, don't be surprised if it happens.
It
That's all I'm
better-
gonna say.
Better not. I think missing some good rivals. Rob pops in to say, and hello, Cornucopia, how are you doing? No, you're missing some good comic books, Russell.
Yeah, but
Mark,
he doesn't read.
you
Is
should
his
read.
excuse?
You don't read?
He doesn't read.
Save the future, Russell.
He doesn't even like watching anime with subtitles because he doesn't like to read. And he's a
One of
big
these
anime
days,
head.
that's messed up, Russell.
He will only watch dubbed anime. He does not like watching subbed anime because he doesn't like to read.
No, 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 no.
He's told me this the past couple of weeks.
That's horrible.
I'm outing you right now, Bray, and I
The
don't
Rurouni
fucking care.
Kenshin anime is nothing. I mean, it's close, but it's not the same dubbed versus subtitled. It's not.
Most
I've
anime
seen
is not the
both.
same dubbed versus subbed.
It is just, oh, you're breaking my heart here, kid.
Yeah.
And
Like
I'm not an anime head.
since Dragon Ball Super aired so many years ago, every Dragon Ball I've consumed was subbed. All the new Dragon Ball anyway. Daima I'm watching subbed. All of Super I watched subbed. And it was awesome.
It's how it's intended.
It's the best way to go. I'm
In
not
most
knocking
cases.
like North American VAs because I would love to be one. It's just the way it was made.
There's a difference in the writing. It's not the VAs.
Oh God, yeah. No, I can like Dragon Ball writing is still really good, but like I'll say for Gundam Seed, I started watching it subbed, and then I realized I could have been watching dubbed this whole time, and then I don't have to read it while I'm on the bus if I'm falling asleep. I just listen to it, right? I switched it to dubbed for 2 minutes of an episode, and the dialogue was so corny, and the subtitles for the episode, which weren't even supposed to be the subtitles, it was just subtitles for the episode, did not match the dialogue. And then I switched it to Japanese, and even that dialogue was completely different, and none of it made any sense. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh boy.
So I needed to watch the subbed version with Japanese voice acting because it's the only one that made sense at the time.
That tracks.
Yeah. Anyway, Titans. I'm loving the build up that John Layman is putting down with the Crime Syndicate. It's a lot of fun. It's got some interesting characters showing up. I did not think we'd see Psycho Pirate anytime soon.
No, but I'm
here
happy he's
he is.
here.
Oh, me too. Yeah. I'm curious to see who else is going to show up. I'm really hoping Gizmo. Please let there be Gizmo.
I want Gizmo and I mean Girder and Magenta would be cool. Just saying.
Yeah, but aren't they like mostly Flash villains?
Yeah, but I think it would work really good here.
Yeah, it
Like
might.
really good here. Mammoth and Girder together on a team. Come on,
That's
dude.
2 tanks on one team. You know that's not always a good idea.
Oh yeah, but it can clear the field. Let me tell you, buddy.
2 tanks on one team with no healer? Come on now. Josh, you've been playing Rivals enough. You know that's not a good idea.
I also know that there's no healers in Villain Town.
No,
Except for Loki, but he's all, can't trust him.
he's technically a good guy now. Yeah, I'm gonna give Titans an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10, he says.
Yes.
Very fair.
You think
So, well, I do. I think it's a pretty damn good book. So, it's higher than mine. I'll give it to you.
Fair enough.
I'll also give you the next book to cover.
Thank you.
Not a problem, my man. Not a problem at all.
And that book is
Action.
Comics number 1082. If you could switch the cover, please, Josh. I would like to talk about it for a quick second.
Breaking Bad.
So when they were teasing this cover
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever, I didn't realize it was Major Disaster at first. I just saw Superman and I thought that was like Clark Kent. You know, they're drawn so similarly. Look at the jawline. Look at the
Yep.
nose.
When
The
I saw it,
eyebrows.
I thought black and yellow. That's Bruce Wayne.
Oh shit.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And then I realized after it's actually Major Disaster. I'm like, oh
It is.
shit. Okay. But yeah, legitimately, I thought it was like this is a Clark and Superman story again. It was like, okay, this could be interesting. The hair in the rain didn't help, but it is a beautiful cover with the rainfall
Mm-hmm.
as really well done. But I digress. Where the fuck are the credits? Oh my god, I forgot to actually
Oh
talk about the
no!
credits, and now I can't bloody well find them.
Now what are you gonna do?
Oh, there. Force Majeure, Part 1. This is written by John Ridley with art from Inaki Miranda, colors from Eve Dela Cruz, and letters from Dave Sharp with the cover from Gleb Melnikov. It's a bright and sunny day in Metropolis, and all the citizens are enjoying their day out until they start to feel an earthquake. A seismic event, the news calls it. Everybody realizes what's going on. It's a real earthquake, and it's kind of nasty. It's a high magnitude earthquake. Shit's falling out of the sky. Blocks are falling off of buildings. This like giant freaking boulder sized things.
When the shit
Superman
goes
comes flying
down, you
through and
better be
saves as
ready.
many people as he can. Heat visioning stray boulders that he can't catch in time, but then he glances to his left and sees underneath one of the boulders a hand sticking out from underneath as it was squished. Um, One person has unfortunately died that Superman was unable to save, and then he finds the source of the
My bad,
earthquake and
bro.
finds Major Disaster, who, instead of getting ready to fight Superman, who is extremely pissed off and his red heat vision eyes are ready to go, he instead gets on his knees, hands in the air, and just welcomes being arrested. Gives up instantly. Later on, as Clark Kent, he visits Strikers Island Penitentiary to interview Major Disaster, aka Paul Booker. Um, And Major Disaster reveals that he really didn't want any of this to happen. The whole truth and nothing but the truth is he just wanted the money. He wanted to rob a bank, and then stuff got a little out of hand with his powers, and somebody got killed. He messed up bad, and he regrets everything. Um, what Clark wants to know is why Major Disaster did this, because the last time they had an interaction, and we see in the little text box there, was in Action Comics 783. So that was quite a while ago, if you can imagine.
Quite a long time ago.
Yep, nearly 500 issues ago.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
insane.
no. This is
No, it
1083.
was 400.
Nearly,
But
nearly 400 issues. 300 issues ago.
it's
Um,
it's like relax, dude. You're being like super hard on yourself. You're Major Disaster, not
yeah.
Major Force.
No, if you're a major force, you'd be okay with killing people.
And you definitely deserve to feel bad if you did.
Yeah. But yeah, the Superman wants to know. Well, Clark Kent wants to know what happened with this deal with Superman to have a better way of life, and then it just all fell apart. And that's the truth about being an ex-con, is especially one with powers. You just can't catch the break you need. And Clark goes home and has a brief talk with Lois about what's going on, and how he's feeling and what's going on with him, because there seems to be some stuff going on with Clark, and Lois is starting to notice that too, including a couple of police officers as well. Next day at MPT headquarters, Clark is once again doing his investigation and listening in on. Actually, no, I keep forgetting it's not. I thought it was a police meeting, but it's actually a press conference uh, about the previous day's events with major disaster. And Clark does overhear some cops talking about how Superman was maybe a little too pissed off, and they wonder what's going on there. And Clark then goes on and interviews other accomplices of major disaster from the past, such as Mighty Bruce and Scorch. And they both say the same thing, that major disaster is just an all-around nice guy, and the shit that went on is, as his name says, a disaster. It's a damn shame, and that um, Booker is not the bad guy that he really says he, or really everyone says he is, and that they're having the same problems of catching a big break after being a powered person, and especially one that used to be a villain. Um, Clark then leaves uh, his interview with Scorch, calls Lois to try and figure out. Um, I tried to gather his thoughts about everything that's gone on, but before they can get too deep into the conversation, Clark is stopped by a mugger. Believe it or not, a fucking mugger. Guy in a hood with a mask and a baton.
Looks like an
Clark,
electrified baton.
oh yeah.
Looks like a
Um,
flick stick, which sucks.
yeah. Clark then stops mid sentence with this conversation and just mutters "stupid," and Lois goes, "What?" It's like, "Not you, I'm talking to." And then he gets beat by the baton, which does look electrified, and actually starts bleeding. He actually ends up on the ground, and the mugger runs away, and that's where the issue ends. So, what the fuck is going on with Superman there?
Just out of nowhere, he's lost his powers.
Yeah. Um, or that stick just has some properties to it that fuck up Kryptonians.
Yep.
We really don't know, like,
What that was at all.
yeah, so this mugger, like, we just assume he's a mugger, but it's just this guy hiding his face, goes, "Hey," and then just beats up Clark,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's all that happened. We don't know anything else. But it's a very interesting story so far, and it feels like there's a mystery there, but it's not really a mystery. It's really more like a humanities piece, which I find very interesting about not only ex-cons trying to make their way back in the world after like redeeming themselves in a way, but bringing that into the comic book world of how does it get worse being an ex-con with superpowers that can't really help anybody. You know, people are always going to look down on you, and it's kind of coincidental, I'd say, that the first two books we have kind of both deal with that same story. With first with Caitlin Snow, everybody thinking the Killer and Killer Frost is still going on, and then Major Disaster with the same shit. He's kind of just down on his luck and needs the cash because no one wants to give him a fucking chance. Um,
Because he's a major disaster.
exactly. It's a very down to earth story, I think, and I really like it. It's not it's not often you see a down to earth story in Superman. But when it does happen, they're fucking fantastic.
Well,
And
and it's
this is
got
no different.
gravity like all of Ridley's stories do.
Yeah. I mean, we saw gravity in full force in the first few pages when the boulders landed on that person
Mm-hmm.
because gravity.
Ha! But
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
sorry, there's no soundboard.
But no, this is it's drawn really well. I like it. Some parts of like Clark I didn't like too much. The hair, like there's one panel of him as Clark Kent, and he's got the S curl, and just like that's not right. That he's supposed to hide that when he's not Superman, because that's part of the disguise. So I feel like the artist kind of misunderstood that part. I was like, oh yeah, he's got the S curl. Not all the time. Only when he's Superman. Um And yet, when he is Superman, it was barely there. But apart from that, I really did enjoy the issue. It will also get an 8.5 from me. You're muted.
I thank you. That is a more than fair score, and well, I just had a great transition, but I didn't have it wrote down, so naturally I forgot what the fuck it was.
Did you talk about the book though?
Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
I forgot that too. Oh, fun. Um, okay, first, the events of the story itself. Clark is doing a look into a human piece, but really to find out why someone he helped went astray. Obviously, it would be to help him again. It ends with Clark being all too human himself, and what a way to find out. A taser flick stick. Ouch. I mean, I've been hit with both before. Don't be friends with cops. But both at the same time? Damn. Ouch. Uh, so, as far as the story goes, I'm in. Ridley is usually able. Sorry. Ridley is usually able to grab me from the word go because of his unique approach to the characters. And all of his stories are very human and very real. The art, going back and looking at it, really cool in some places, definitely not in others. Altogether, though, I had this really weird feeling. Obviously, it's not the art style. Obviously, it's not the word choices from Ridley, but there was something about this book that made me feel like I was reading a comic book at 16 again. I don't know what it was. There is nothing that's nostalgic about this, but it just, I don't know. There's probably not many people out there that know what I mean. But
It,
while I was reading this, it was like that excitement was there
it's
that I used to
because
get.
it's not an issue of Action Comics that is bogged down by everything else that's going on. It's a story about Superman in Action Comics, and it's not like a giant fucking fight. You know, it's like the Action Comics I was reading when I was growing up were story
That.
driven,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Uh
it
huh.
wasn't like it needs to tie in to everything that's going on in
Yeah.
Justice League and Superman and
It didn't always
fucking
need to be world,
world
catastrophe
changing.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
You're probably
like,
right.
yeah, stories about Superman doing Superman stuff. And again, it wasn't always like a big fight. Oh, here's Calabac again destroying Metropolis. Let's have a fucking brouhaha. No, it's here's a villain that is in my rogues gallery and he's fucking things up. Let me deal with it. Right?
Yeah.
In a
Um.
Superman way. And it's got a like a classic Action Comics feel.
Shit. Now I've got to change my. I have to change my top three. Damn it. You're right. That's what it is. He wrote an Action Comics book, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He wrote an action comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's what it is. Okay. Well, in that case, with this new slight adjustment, it's a good setup. It's a great setup. It's got acceptable art, even though the faces are the only thing that really detract me from saying it's awesome. And that very nostalgic feeling. Obviously, we've decoded what that came from. It felt good reading this, and it's getting an 8 out of 10. Or 8 out of 10. Excuse me, 8.5 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
And some of the art, honestly, just really just the faces. I brought that down a bit, or else I would be giving it an 8.75 right now.
Right on. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I said what I said about some of the facial expressions, and the ass curl is kind of bugging me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's been a point of contention across many fucking years of Superman. Is he has the ass curl as Superman, and when he's Clark Kent, it's gone
Yep.
because that's part of the disguise.
Yep. And his hair should be slightly unkept.
Yes.
It should not be perfectly combed.
No.
Ever. Just saying. Uh, and now, again, I still don't remember what the hell that transition was. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on over to the next book. And
Something
that
about
one,
earthquakes and thunderstorms. I don't know.
kaboom. Black Lightning number 3. Written by Brandon Thomas, art inside and out from Fico Ocio with colors from Luis Cesarola and letters by Lucas Guttoni. Man, I hope I'm saying his name right. Lightning is outside handling some metahuman threat, while inside Steelworks, the threat reveals that it's there to steal some very important tech. Anissa, aka Thunder, is inside, but wearing a power inhibitor that stops her from losing control of the new powers that she seems to have, that presents itself as red energy in various sized little spheres. I have an idea what that energy might be, and her new very dangerous power set that she can't control. But anyway, her mom tells her to remove the inhibitor because they will need her help. She helps a little, but begins to lose control of her powers. Way to go, Mom. Black Lightning is talking her down, and the Justice League doesn't wait and boom tubes her away. Black Lightning follows and confronts the Trinity, yelling at them about making it look like he lied to his kid, and after some real heated arguing, it gets even worse as they won't let him see her. Well, as one might imagine, that doesn't sit quite so well with Jefferson, and the last thing that we see is Batman calling Thunder dangerous, and he says Black Lightning is too. Jefferson agrees as he pulls his fist of lightning back in the last panel, ready to knock the snot right out of Superman. This is just good. Thomas has a voice for this line of characters, and it really works. The art is fantastic, too, all the way around. And Trinity or not, don't mess with people's kids. I can't wait to see where this goes, and I can't wait to see if I'm right about the new power set. This gets a definite 8.5 out of 10 from me.
I just gotta say, I know Superman was saying some shit too, but he was trying to do things in a peaceful way, and like Batman was the one that was stirring
fucked
shit.
It up. I don't know why he feels the need to step on Black Lightning's toes all the time.
Especially when he's one of the guys that believes in him so much. But like,
I'm saying,
Batman was the one that was stirring shit up, and then Jefferson decides to punch Superman in the face. What the fuck? Go for bats.
You don't go for. I mean, you go for the toughest dog in the yard, right?
I guess. I guess. No, really heartfelt story about family and growing up. Again, surrounded by superpowers. That's one of the things I'm really liking about this.
Damn it.
Excuse me,
There's the
all
Black Lightning
in
cover.
Yeah. One of the things I'm really liking about the All-In initiative is, much like early MCU, they're doing genre stories with superpowers. It's not, here's a superhero comic book. It's, here's a mystery book with superpowers. Here's a family drama with superpowers, right? Here's a horror story with superpowers. Like, it's genre pieces, and that's what was so great about early MCU, and that's what's really good about All In.
They're handling these characters in the correct way. They're putting them in the right kind of stories to make them work.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever enjoyed so many DC books at the same time. I mean, I'll say for a new initiative. Yeah.
I will say, I went into New 52 going, all right, let's give this a go. Ooh, I didn't like number 1. Let's check number 2 out.
Yeah, no, that also wasn't good. Okay.
But so going into a new initiative, I do my damnedest to give it a completely blank slate. There's going to be stuff that I remember. There's going to be stuff I bitch about, but I do my best to like try and welcome it and get over my initial dislike of a new initiative when it occurs.
Yeah.
I haven't had to do this yet.
Yeah. Like
My biggest
almost every
stumbling
book has been a
block is
banger.
the absolute universe, and that's only Batman's suit. And that's probably because I'm so goddamn protective of Batman, and I'm a little pissed at Snyder for messing with me. But
I mean, it's not even Snyder that necessarily designed it. It's whoever the artist is.
well, I
I
mean, the
I don't.
function
Was it Nick
came from
Dragotta?
Scott. I can guarantee you that.
The function from Scott, yeah, but the overall
Yeah,
design would have been Nick Dragotta.
it was the two of them together. Guarantee you. But in any case, uh, this new initiative, you're 100% right, man. It's just, it's good.
hmm Yeah, it's been some pretty cool stuff. But no, as a family drama, Black Lightning is knocking it out of the park. I'm really enjoying it. Um, you were going to mention what you think Anissa's powers are.
Oh, I wasn't gonna mention it. I was just gonna mention that I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But now that you called me out on it, I think that it is related to another book that we aren't going to see tie in together for at least a few months.
And
But
that's Superman Red and Blue.
I think that Anissa may have gotten some of Captain Adam's powers.
Oh shit, that's a good point because his powers went missing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they did,
Oh
and
goddamn.
it, the inhibitor that's been placed on her and the unexplained power that she's got, other than it's explosive, leads me to believe that it very well could be that. Now, Captain Atom, people will say when he displays his power set, it comes out yellow. It does until he's not controlling it and he
Yeah.
says, fuck it. Then it is bright red. And that's what's leading me to believe that that's what Anissa has. At least some, if not all, of Captain Atom's powers.
hmm Well then, that's an interesting change up. I like it.
I hope I'm right.
I think you might be. I think you might be for sure.
Cheers.
Um, on a side note, I really like that the Jefferson sisters and fuck, I can't remember her name now. Steele are like good friends. That's really cool. Yeah,
Yes. And I
I
hope that the girls, I hope that all three of them make their way into the Powers book. Or is the
yeah.
Powers book just a one shot? Is it just one shot?
It's a one shot for now. It's introducing the power company as it is.
Gotcha. And
Um,
it'll probably take place over different books.
yeah, it might eventually do a miniseries or an ongoing. um,
That would be sick.
Remind me, was it was must have been this issue that started. Yeah. With I want to say it was Nissa talking with other teen heroes,
Hmm.
and they were just like, no, wasn't it? I keep forgetting which one's which now. But lightning,
Lightning was
um,
the one that was talking, yeah, not
yeah,
Nissa, not Thunder.
not thunder. Having the conversation with teen heroes, and there was like a little friend group or support group of being in the Justice League and also being teenagers, and some of them being kids of other heroes, and it was a nice little touch. And I love those moments where you see that all the big name heroes kind of made their choice to put on a costume and go help people, and then through their adventures brought other people into it, and then all those people that were brought into the fold by somebody else have a little support group of themselves. It's like Teen Titans Unlimited, if you will.
Right?
Right? Like
And
they're
that
all
was oh,
friends, right? It's like the Teen Titans back in the day. They were a group of costume teenagers that were friends, and they were all sidekicks. And
all
now
right.
you have all these other teenagers that aren't necessarily sidekicks, but they were brought into the fold, and they're friends, and they're helping each other out, and they're hanging out, and they're talking to each other, and it's I love to see stuff like that because you don't get that from the adult heroes.
No, you don't. And
No.
yes, I would love to see that too. But I have a question for you, Rob.
Yes.
You can only get one team back,
Uh-huh.
and the other one goes away forever.
I hate these questions, but okay.
Now, roster aside,
Okay.
okay, you can only have one team back.
Uh-huh.
Do you pick Teen Titans
Okay.
or Young Justice?
Teen Titans.
Really?
Yeah.
I am super surprised about that. Why is that?
Well, I've read more Teen Titans than I have Young Justice. Full disclosure, I haven't read much of Young Justice at all. I've read a few issues here and there, but I was never like an avid reader of Young Justice and never really had access to it at the time when it was new. Um, and Teen Titans, I know you said roster aside, but that is going to be a point for me is that it is a kind of team that can have an ever changing roster, right? Where Young Justice had its core members, and it did have more members along the way, but it was ultimately a team that was not meant to be a team. It was friends hanging out, right? And being like, we're all sidekicks like the Teen Titans were, but we're not like trying to be a super team. We're not the Teen Titans, but we're all essentially the same thing. Um, and being where the Justice League was at the time, they were like the Young Justice League, hence the Young Justice. But Teen Titans can have so much more to it, and an ever flowing and ever changing roster of teen heroes, and it does not have to be tied to Justice League members like Young Justice technically would or should be, because if it's the Young Justice League, you'd think it would have to be teen counterparts to the adult heroes. Teen Titans can be any teen hero. That's why we
See,
have Roundhouse.
fair enough.
Right?
See, I just went. I went the other direction. I was like, I think I would want Young Justice because Young Justice sounds better than Teen Titans.
Oh, it's a better name
That's
for
like,
sure.
yeah.
But it also, if Young Justice
That's
never
why I
comes
said roster
back,
aside.
then you also preserve the legacy of the initial team and know that it will forever be the good stuff that was around when we were younger.
No, 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 no. And I understand that, and I get where you're coming from, but we cannot let the last iteration of Young Justice have not Duck-turd Brandon, Duck-turd Drake. Damn it, Brandon,
Wow.
I'm thinking about you.
No. You misunderstand. You said never comes back.
Yeah.
So that never happened.
Okay. So you're saying that those were
The
eradicated from history.
initial
Okay.
team
What
is
I
the
was
only
asking
team.
you, what I was asking you is that it is okay. They
Loophole,
both
motherfucker.
existed, but they're neither one of them are currently in continuity. So if one was able to be created in current continuity, and it resulted in the other one never coming back, which
Okay.
one would you choose?
But never coming back or never having existed.
Never coming back.
Okay, then would still pick Teen Titans.
Okay.
Because then
For
the
basically the same
original
reasons, I'm
Young
assuming.
Justice, yeah, the original Young Justice team would be the one that will forever be in our hearts, and we'll
Yes.
forever long for it to come back. But we know that if it never comes back, then at least we had what we had, and it was amazing.
Yes.
And the Teen Titans can have many iterations, many rosters, and it already has. over the years, and they've all, for the most part, been enjoyable.
I think I just want Young Justice to come
I know, but
back.
like
Young
we've
Justice was
had that
my
once, and
Super
it wasn't
Sons.
great. That's the problem. Teen Titans has come back many times, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
But I
Young
mean, like,
Justice has had 2 iterations, and the second one was dog shit.
that's true.
Yeah,
But I don't want it to go out like that.
just forget it happened. Just like I'm
Oh, I
forgetting,
wish I could.
I'm forgetting that Green Lantern run that shall not be named.
I
I'm
will.
forgetting that ever happened.
I can't forget the last run of Young Justice. I can't forget the last run of Legion of Superheroes. None of this is allowed. I can't. I want it gone, Rob. Of all the things I want to forget.
Like you have memory problems as it is. Can't
That's
you
what
be
I'm saying.
selective
That's
of your
I.
memory problems?
Oh, if only. I'm telling you, man. I'm
No, honestly, it might be
telling
better.
you.
Might be better for you to remember it than like 2 years down the road. You forgot that run ever existed, and then somebody just casually mentions Young Justice from Bendis. You're like, there was a Young Justice reboot? What happened? And then they're like,
Oh
well,
no.
Tim Drake put on a brown costume and started calling himself another bird. And you're like, what the
Fuck.
fuck? Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it's for the best you remember it.
Oh no.
There's nothing worse than reliving some of the worst moments of your life. Yeah.
You can say that again.
Black Lightning though. Oh, there's some gravy. Shit. I found gravy on my shirt, and I don't know why the fuck.
You just licked it off your finger.
I mean, I
Um,
was eating poutine, sure, but shit, I'm sorry, I'm a mess right now. That's
it happens to the best of
that's
us.
not professional in the slightest. Black Lightning is getting an 8.5 as well.
Perfect. Oh, that was so good. All right. Um, we're just gonna wing it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. Um, Rob, you wanna take care of Nightwing 122 for us?
I want to take care of my laundry first. Fuck's sake.
Oh.
All right, yeah, this is On With the Show, Part 4, Little Circus Boy, Nightwing, number 122. This is written by Dan Waters with art from Dexter Soy, colors from Veronica Gandini, and letters from Wes Abbott. And the cover you see before you from Dexter Soy and Veronica Gandini. So Nightwing, after the events of the last issue, have found Commissioner Sawyer and his sister secretly, Mayor Grayson Lynn, on top of a rooftop overlooking the city while it's basically smoldering after all the explosions that have been happening. He shows up on the rooftop and explains to them he has evidence of what's really going on, and Olivia Pierce is the mastermind behind it all, except the evidence he has is circumstantial at best, because the evidence he has is that he had a run-in with her when he was a little boy. He can't even explain how, because if he apparently divulges that he used to be Robin, then people could figure shit out. So he's not even divulging that, but we get to see what happened on a little excursion Batman and Robin had to a thing called the Cirque du Sin, where a bunch of rich people were murdered. Not robbed, just murdered for the sake of murder.
At Sin Circus, baby.
Exactly. Batman and Robin go and find the culprits, but they get split up as a girl dressed as a clown attacks Robin and drags him away. Batman is left to fight the other 4 to 5 members of the Cirque du Sin. Of course, he's Batman, so it's fucking easy. But the clown girl, who calls herself Columbina, which is a reference to a very dark kind of clown, which Robin recognizes because he grew up in the circus and he understands all that stuff. He shows off his acrobatic skills, and Columbina recognizes he has skills on the trapeze and in a circus in general. So they have a little discussion, argument while swinging across the big top. However, she supposedly injects him with something that causes him to hallucinate, and he sees a giant freaking clown in the sky. And yeah, not like your typical colorful clown, like a little like an old dark clown. I can't remember what the fuck they're called, but they're like a side, not a sideshow clown.
Them freaky, scary clowns.
Yeah, he's like a white collar and white mask, and it's fucking creepy. Batman finds him after taking care of the villains. Robin's just on his knees staring up to the sky saying nothing, and Batman kind of comforts him and makes sure he's okay. The other members of the Cirque du Sin have been arrested and are being taken away. Columbina has escaped, and she's watching her old compatriots get taken away through a tear-filled mask. And that's the last time Nightwing ever saw her, because she never resurfaced. They could not find her until now. She resurfaces as Olivia Pierce. But that story, like I said, to the authorities is circumstantial at best. That's not really evidence. That's just a story. There's no ties for Olivia Pierce and this mysterious villainess you fought as a teenager. As he said, he then goes on to say there is other evidence, but it has potential to compromise certain sensitive identities, so he can't even give that up.
Nope.
But then there's an explosion across town, and Nightwing says, "You know what? Let me go get you that proof." As he heads for the source of the explosion, which is a Bloodhaven police department, and he sees someone escaping the building out of the smoldering hole. He gives chase and finds it's actually a member of the Flyboys, who refuses to give up any information, and the pair are found by the new flying police patrol. Nightwing takes off and then heads
Helios.
to Helios. Thank you.
The new flying police patrol.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah, Helios, aka Bloodhaven Magistrate.
You know that cheesy ass line in Star Wars Episode 9 with Finn and the fucking the pilot dude. Can't remember his name. It goes, "They fly now? They fly now.
They fly now."
Yeah. Police? They fly now? Yeah, they fly now. I don't know. Flying police patrol sounds so much better than
that line
Helios.
was funny.
It was, but then you look at that in the context of the rest of the movie, and you're like, yeah, that should not be the saving grace of the movie. It really shouldn't. It should be a funny throwaway line, and then the rest of the movie be enjoyable. That should not be the best part of the movie. Right? Yep. It's not strong enough to hold the weight of a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah. Okay. I was also one of the people who saw the opening parts of The Force Awakens, especially that first battle, and I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, no, The Force Awakens is one of my favorite Star Wars. I like it. I will never forget my reaction to the trailer. A lot of people can suck me.
And I went and I saw that in the theater. I went and saw it on the big and mighty IMAX, and I watch it, and like IMAX is loud, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's loud. I am also a loud person, and I went, whoa, so loud. Even in the IMAX theater, I can guarantee you every single fucking person heard me. I was just like, this is so cool. I was very happy with it. A lot of people
I was too. I will honestly say episode 7, as a movie by itself, fantastic. As the first part of a trilogy, really good. It's the rest of the trilogy that kind of let episode 7 down.
It's what they did to Luke Skywalker that fucked everything up.
Yeah, even Mark Hamill wasn't happy about that.
Yep.
Mark
If
Hamill
they
is
wouldn't have
very
went
protective of that character.
yeah, if they wouldn't have went that direction with it, it would have changed the rest of the opinions of the story, I believe. But that's neither here nor there. We were
Yeah.
talking about Flyboys and their leader Jeff Goldblum.
What?
Obviously, that's
Oh,
leader.
the Fly. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, that took me a minute because you said Jeff Goldblum and Flyboys, and for some reason the first thing that popped in my head was Jurassic Park, and it's like I don't get it. So yeah, Nightwing then takes off, leaving the member of the Flyboys, 2 Helios officers, heads to the now empty Titan's Tower to brood in darkness like his mentor. Barbara shows up and tries to comfort him. Um, and they just have a discussion about how Nightwing's realizing he's losing this battle, that he's tried to keep the peace and get the gangs to work together and be on his side and try to save everyone's life and even leave them a communicator behind that if anybody ever needs it, just ping me, I'll be there. And they're just ignoring it and instead committing more crimes and causing destruction. And then we see another member of the Flyboys looking for that communicator and pings it, as they say, they're going to kill us all. So maybe Nightwing's plan is coming to fruition. Who knows? The point is, this is quite the interesting story. Dan Watters' first story arc in Nightwing is a bit of a banger. It's honestly a lot of fun. Very interesting direction for Nightwing, but also keeping true to the character. He just wants to keep people safe, whether they be villain or a criminal. Villain or good person. I don't know why I said villain or criminal.
It's definitely one of the two.
Yeah. He's always had a soft spot for just life. So doesn't matter if you're a hero or a villain, like just stay alive. He'll fight if he has to fight, but if he doesn't have to fight, he won't. And I think that's his preference.
Yep.
And that's this whole story arc is putting that entire philosophy to the test, and it's really really interesting stuff. So this, combined with the fantastic fucking art, is going to get an 8.75 out of 10.
I can't blame you for that at all.
Good.
Excuse me while I finish pouring my Coke in my glass there. Sweet. I didn't mute it when I coughed and then muted it when I was finished. All right. I'm great. One of the Flyboys is using the device. So Nightwing's plan is working. Like Barbara told him, baby steps.
Yeah.
Even though he doubts himself and the city a bit, his plan has begun to work.
Exactly.
The point of Nightwing, and I'll probably catch heat from every comic fan on the planet, but the whole point of Nightwing is that a person doesn't have to be Batman to be a hero.
Exactly.
They don't need powers and they don't have to be Batman. He can be even better than Batman without having to be Batman. And if you're a Batman fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Nightwing is trying to do that, and slowly but surely, Nightwing is doing that.
Sorry, can I just interrupt for a sec?
Go
Russell
ahead.
says he's got better things to do with his time than read comics, and I guess that means losing matches in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I shall add that to the chat.
Oh, he's listening. He knows I'm talking shit about him. I'm going to hear about it tomorrow morning in the car.
Lose more, Moon Knight.
Oof.
No, but this is just great. As for the story, there's really not much to say. Although I feel like I got to watch 5 minutes of a movie before someone paused it on me, and
Yeah.
that I feel like is a really good thing. This was more than just reading a book. This was watching something, and it was great. I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for Dan Waters' writing, and Dexter Soy is just the bomb diggity booyah. He's in my top three. You guys know that. Especially with these colors, I freaking love this. It was an 8.25 out of 10, easy and all day long.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
All
Where's
right.
the Lord?
What the fuck?
The new ones, anyways.
Just wondering where you're going with that.
I am going right here. It is the New Gods number 2, written by Ron V with art from Evan Cagle, colors from Francesco Segala, and Tom Napolitano on lettering, with a Malavi, damn it, Malavia cover. On pages 1 through 4 was guest art and colorist Jesse Lonergan. Lonergan? Lonergan. On pages 1 through 4 was guest art and colorist Jesse. The art is intriguing and the narration deep, as is typical of a Rom V book. Done so to set the story, not deliver useless exposition, so it's enjoyable. Also makes the story somewhat much more quicker to sum up, as a lot of the information we're reading is just told to us rather than we're having to witness it. Scott Free changed his mind. He's off to go find the baby. He tries to slip out without Barda, but that's one trap he can't escape. But tis. Um, it seems to be either day 3 or 4. I thought it was funny. Fuck off. Which doesn't give them much time to work with. Meanwhile, revolt is imminent on Apocalypse in the wake of Darkseid's death. And before we even get to any of that, we see that Highfather has seemingly had a prophetic dream about New Genesis falling to the very bloodthirsty and very addicted to killing and feeding on gods and very ugly being named Karak Ator. This has given me just enough to keep going with a perfectly paced unfolding of the events. This is the New Gods. It's going to be a really involved story, and it's rolling it out perfectly. I don't think they could have picked a better person to do the New Gods. Who is this new baby? Who's going to get to it first? Darkseid's people thinks it's baby Darkseid. We've already done that before. Orion thinks it's the end of the world. Karak thinks it's dinner. Barda thinks it's typical. And Scott thinks he has no choice. What a hailstorm of baby diarrhea. Someone needs to get to that damn kid. I'm into this. And Cagle's art just looks so great. I really like what he's doing here. On pages 1 through 4 was guest art and colorist Jesse Lonergan. You know what? As evidenced by the quality of his work or their work on those pages, I do hope that we won't be seeing them again. Some looks like family circus art, some is far less than that, and some I couldn't even tell what was in the panel. The rest? Kegel. It's good stuff. It was brought down a little by 4 pages. So I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. What about you, kind sir? What about you?
Checking out some technical stuff because Russell is saying our stream on Twitch keeps freezing. So I was checking it out. It is happening on Twitch, but it's not happening on YouTube.
Oh, then it's a Twitch problem.
It sounds like it might be a Twitch issue, Russell.
It's a Twitch issue, Russell. I deeply apologize. And Twitch, please note this. It wasn't us.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yes.
break your shit.
Twitch. Listen to us, Twitch.
For real.
Your stream for us, Twitch, is freezing. Twitch.
It's making us twitch.
I'm just thinking. I don't know if they have some AI that listens to their streams, and if you say the name Twitch.tv,
Twitch.tv.
that it might actually hear when people are saying Twitch.tv
You're breaking
to
our stream.
listen to when things are going wrong. Twitch.tv, your stream is freezing.
It works. It works good everywhere else.
Yes.
Twitch.tv.
Exactly. The fuck were we talking about? New Gods. Loved it.
Gods.
Loved the hell out of it. There's some trippy shit going on, but it's Rom V, so that's not a surprise. But it's all come together. It's honestly a little less trippy than his Detective Comics run, if that makes sense at all, which it doesn't. But
no, I wouldn't. I mean, this is out there, but it's cosmic out there, and
well, that's the thing.
For the fact that it's out there and cosmic out there, but that makes sense. It's not quite so out of place like it was in Detective Comics.
But that's the thing. If I walk up to you on the street and say, Ron V is writing both Detective Comics and New Gods, which one sounds more confusing?
Detective.
Why? You'd expect it to be a mystery.
Well,
and New Gods, you would expect it to be some gigantic, world-spanning adventure with biblical proportions.
Okay, so this is it. You haven't read as much Rom V as I have. Rom V is almost the king of long, huge, gigantic stories. And Detective Comics has never really been that.
No.
So to have Rom V do that in Detective Comics was kind of and completely unexpected. So if you would have just walked up to me and said, which one is Rom V going to do? I would have said New Gods, only because I wouldn't have expected that to occur in Detective Comics.
Fair
enough. Yeah. So that's it. That's the only reason why.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
So glad I'm reading a Rom V New Gods and not Tom King New Gods. I'm just so glad.
Right? It's such a good book so far.
Really
very like honestly, weirdly enough, simple premise. But in this one, very centered around Mr. Miracle, which I appreciate. I love a good story with Scott Free, especially when Big Bart is involved.
And I like his voice in here.
Yeah, no, it's really well done.
Typical, somewhat unsure Scott Free, but it's not whimpering.
Exactly. It's good. I'm really curious about what's going on with Metron, because he's always been kind of the outsider of the New Gods, kind of doing his own thing with all that knowledge and everything.
I'm not going to get all into this.
Right? But now he's like, everything's going to shit. I better do something.
I didn't
because I know what's going to happen.
Dr. Manhattan, but this shit, y'all.
Yeah.
This shit, y'all.
Well, he sounds like he's talking about, and I'm quoting something here, the Ragnarok of the New Gods.
Yes.
That we're going to see the coming of the fifth world, supposedly, right?
Supposedly. And what does that even look like? And who does it leave left?
Well, I mean, how these worlds happen is they all fucking die.
Yeah.
But I imagine Mr. Miracle and Big Barda might find a way to survive. But that's if that's even going to happen. It looks like there's going to be some players that try to prevent the coming of the fifth world.
And on top of that, if they all die, do they all share some of the same kind of a link that Darkseid does with the Source, to the point where they must exist?
Well, isn't that like what happens to the gods when they die, is they join the Source Wall?
Yeah, but not that they have to maintain life at all times.
Yeah.
Darkseid isn't just controlling that Earth from the Source Wall. He's Darkseid again. Somewhere. Yeah. We just haven't seen where yet.
Just on Omega World.
Right. And so while I don't imagine Calabac is out there prancing around anywhere,
Well, no, he
I
dead.
don't think Scott or Orion would be if they died. But I can't help but wonder if Highfather would.
Hmm. Isaiah and Oxus, forever at odds.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it a lot. Though I don't know if I'd want New Gods with excuse me, High Father and Dark Side, but no Mr. Miracle. That just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right at all. No Mr. Miracle, no Orion. Those are honestly the only ones I give a fuck about. No, and Barda. I like Barda, but everybody else is like poof, goodbye. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit. Granny Goodness is like the dumbest fucking DC character that's ever been in the mainstream. Who the fuck, Granny Goodness?
Even worse than Condiment King? Come on.
Right? It's like I feel yes, Granny Goodness. It's like I'm gonna kill you with gingerbread cookies. That's what's gonna happen with Granny Goodness. What in the hell kind of villain
If it's good
is
enough
that?
for Hansel and Gretel, it's good enough for Demon World, all right?
No, that's not right. That's not right. I am so sorry, but that is hugely incorrect.
I don't know. Jack Kirby had some wild ideas.
Jack Kirby, I think, did LSD sometimes.
He must have.
For sure.
The Kirby crackle was just the spots he saw in his eyes.
That was beautiful.
No, but New Gods is fucking fantastic. Holy shit, is it ever good?
It's good. It's good stuff right there.
It's fucking good there,
it
bud.
is. I like it. I like it. It's fucking good, bud.
It's fucking good, bud. I'm gonna give this a 9.25 out of 10.
Wow, I wish
I
I
think
could.
that's deserved.
But the art on the pages 1 through 4, like what it did was it went out to this empty ass barn and it found the rustiest old fashioned pitchfork it could find and it just stabbed this issue in the heart over and over again. I thought this was so bad.
What
It
the
was
fuck?
like on par with Riley Rosmo for the most part and worse in some panels.
That
couldn't
imagery
even
is
tell.
fantastic, but I don't know what the fuck that means.
I couldn't even tell what was going on in some of the panels in those first 4 pages.
Because they're fucked up
That's
aliens.
ridiculous.
That's what it is.
Here's a panel of some unidentifiable shit. You're welcome.
Yeah,
No,
because
what the fuck?
law of averages,
Law of averages.
it
No.
just statistically,
I'm
there's going to
reading.
be some aliens out there that you just can't
I
comprehend
don't know
the
what that
shape
is.
of.
Must be alien shit. That
Yeah.
right there is
Bruh.
shit that's from an alien.
Did you know
Alien
there
shit.
there is a Green Lantern in the universe that is literally just a sentient math equation?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
more than aware of
like,
that. There's another one that is actually a Green Lantern, not by light but by sound. You think
Yeah.
I don't know these things?
but that's
Son,
that's my
I
point.
was
Like,
the Jeopardy
it's
master that
it's
got
a big
you.
universe. There's
It is a
gonna
huge
be some
universe.
creatures out there that you just can't fucking comprehend the status of,
Like what?
like Thanagarians.
Fuck you. Oh, you got to pick this fight without Brandon here. That's unfair warfare.
I'm gonna pick this fight every week.
Hawkman is a badass. Hawkman is a badass, and
He does
really,
have a
like,
badass.
go back and like try and find some Hawkman, some classic Hawkman versus Gentleman Ghost. Those are good stories. Those are very enjoyable, especially since you like that Age of Comics so much. I think you would actually enjoy those.
I'll have to, because when you say Hawkman versus Gentleman Ghost, all I can picture is some fucking barbarian dude with wings try to stab a ghost with a mace, and it's not working because he's a fucking ghost
With a monocle.
with a monocle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carter just can't comprehend it because is a fucking ghost.
It's what makes it good stories because it's not something that he can just swing a mace at. He has to use the Carter Hall in him as Hawkman, and those are
the
damn
the Carter
good.
Hall in him doesn't sound good. The Carter Hall in him just sounds fucking angry.
Grr. No, that's Qatar Hole.
The inner Carter Hall sounds like Hank Hall.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
not quite. That's a totally different character.
I don't know. They're both Hawk.
Huh? Hank Hall is Hawk.
Yes, and Carter Hall is Hawk Man,
Oh well, yeah, but he's not Hawk.
and they both have the last name Hall,
It's complete coincidence.
and they're both very angry.
They are. They are both very angry.
Tell
I
me when
think
I'm telling lies.
Hawk himself is angry because he has some sort of PTSD from his childhood, and he found out that he's really good at what he does, which is, beating people until they can't move. I think Carter Hall is so violent because he's an archaeologist and he is fucking fed up with the fact that he has to use a brush to dig out 10 feet of dirt. I think he's tired of fucking waiting. I think he wants to know why he can't use the goddamn backhoe, and that's why people get hurt with his mace.
Because if he's an archaeologist, he should know if he's using a backhoe, he's going to damage the things he's fucking digging for.
Nonsense. Have you not seen the progress at Oak Island?
At what?
Oak Island. Are you not familiar with Oak
Oh,
Island? It's
God,
in
are you
Nova
actually
Scotia.
fucking... You give a shit about that garbage?
Oak Island? Yeah,
Do you-
I followed
do-
that since I was a little kid, dude.
Do you know what the Curse of Oak Island is?
I absolutely do. I've read that shit since I was a little kid, reading about it in fucking Reader's Digest and stuff. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fabricated.
Nah.
It's all fucking fake. It's a show for your amusement. That's all it is.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
I love Oak
I don't know what progress on Oak Island have they done. They brought in backhoes and found what?
Right now traces they've got all kind they found all kinds of stuff from like the 1600s and between the 16 and the 1800s. They found a whole Micmac preservation site on
Okay.
accident, and they carefully exhumed that. They found a bunch of these weird ass stone roadways, another additional money pit. They found these booby traps that were placed underneath, and traces of gold, silver, and copper in the water. Plus
Interesting.
money, a jewel, a lot of buttons and coins and stuff that's on there. And in this most recent season, they are actually like, it's been 12 years. It seems as though they're like right on top of the shit. They keep nudging it. The underneath where the ground is at, it's all collapsed because it's been washed out with seawater so many times from people triggering the underwater booby traps, which floods the tunnels with seawater. So it's getting pushed down there. They found the vault. It's just being able to get to it with the permission of the Nova Scotia government to get down there without pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it away. But it's been 12 years, and I really did read about that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oak Island was a thing. It was
I
one
know
of those
it's a thing,
real life fucking treasure hunt things. It's like, when you're 9 years old and you read that shit, you're like, that's what I'm gonna do when I grow up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find that fucking treasure, yo. It's that was that for those who were born in 1979. That was the version of kids growing up today and going, I'm gonna be a YouTube streamer.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Hawkman still sucks though.
Hawkman does not suck.
New Gods, I gave my score 9.25.
You did.
Yes.
And I gave it a 7.5. And when I did, you did not challenge me.
I had a different transition, but that works.
Go for it.
This is Challengers of the Unknown, written by Christopher Cantwell with art from Jorge Fornes, Sean Izakazi, Amanke Nohelpan. Oh, they didn't put an ampersand there. Okay, that's the three. And colors from Raimi Lafardo Jr. and Matt Herbs. Letters from Hassan Atsmane Al Hau, and the cover from Izakazi and Fajardo Jr. It's a cool cover. I like it.
Indeed, it is.
We open.
I wish that this team would have drawn some of the Endless Winter covers. Sorry, I have an artistic problem with Endless Winter, and I shouldn't have even brought it up. But
yeah, that's kind of confusing.
I'm looking at this, and it reminds me of Endless Winter a lot for some reason, and that aggravated me. All of the design choices that Howard Porter did, but my bad.
That was Howard Porter that did that. I don't even remember what they look like.
It was so bad. So bad.
Fair enough. All right, so get off my screen, you stupid ad. We open up on a look into the past of June Robbins. Sorry, excuse me as I set my leg up. Where she, as an inventor and the sole proprietor, I guess, of Robbins Robotics.
Yeah.
Her greatest invention was the robot with a mind, Ultivac.
Mm-hmm.
A robot that not only had a mind, but potentially had a soul. It was the world's first AI and learned as it grew, and initially was a great assistant to the challengers of the unknown, but one day got a little too much, and on a mission to help save the prismatics, Ultivac.
Sounds like a 1980s cartoon.
Yeah. Ultivac, struggling with the concept of death, finally comes up to the conclusion that death is power and death is everything. It is undeniable. Therefore, I must pursue it to its end, for it is absolutes. And Ultivac proceeds to kill as many prismatics as he can. So, since then, Ultivac has been a sworn enemy to the Challengers of the Unknown, as they've been trying to prevent Ultivac from killing all life as they know it. But now we fast forward to now, where DS Anomaly B, the unknown signal in the middle of the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, is found by June to potentially be Ultivac, which she was convinced that Ultivac was destroyed, but now she believes he's alive. And the only thing that's being broadcast is the word mother, which is what Ultivac used to call June. Since June was the one that invented him, she is essentially his mother. So just like last issue, June is going to be liaisoned by members of the Justice League and the senior members of the Justice League, which this mission includes Batman and Aquaman, since they're going to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Aquaman is a no-brainer. Batman is a little bit more of a mystery, but he's going anyway. They are also joined by the Challenger Field Team 2, the Sea Devils, which include Judy Walton, Nikki Walton, Dane Dorrance, and Biff Bailey. And if I remember correctly, I forgot to double check my ideas here, my facts, but they were a secondary Challengers of the Unknown team once upon a time.
Yeah, the Sea Devils have been around for a long time.
Yeah. So they will be joining the team on this expedition. They make their way down to the source of the anomaly, But the closer they get, the signal gets weaker, to the point that Batman notices that it has stopped, and then they are attacked by a swarm of sharks. But Batman realizes these are not just any sharks, they are robotic sharks, not real at all in the slightest. Um, excuse me. June then begins to get telepathic calls from Ultivac straight to her mind, um, to which Ultivac is saying, "Please find me. I am scared." So they head back to the surface, and June thinks she can figure out where Ultivac is. They head to the Karakoram mountain range in Kashmir, and or Kashmir, not Kashmir. It's not a fucking fabric, Rob. Um, they head to
Kashmir is actually a city in Egypt as well.
fair enough. They head to this mountain, the Karakoram mountain range. Just Batman and June this time. They begin to scale the mountain, but are found by Ultivac, where Ultivac smashes his fist through the mountain and catches Batman, and begins to squeeze ever so gently. June tries to communicate with Ultivac and talk him down and figure out what's going on, but Batman, realizing his chest cavity is going to get caved in, decides to use his electromagnetic shock therapy on Ultivac to shock his system, release him from its grip, which starts an avalanche because Ultivac falls over. And then before Ultivac disappears, literally phases out of existence, June gets a little glimpse about what Ultivac is feeling and going through. Um, that Ultivac realizes there's more to death than meets the eye, and that there's something missing from this world, and that thing that is missing is death. Since Darkseid was gone, he was death, he was power. Now he is gone, and so is death. Um, he wants to acquire the power, and he thinks that's something to do with the absence of death. Also has to do with why the Challengers always survived their near-death experiences. And the last thing June sees as Ultivac disappears is an image of Darkseid, who says, "You belong with me." So then, back on the Watchtower, June is in a hospital bed, and Mr. Terrific is interrogating her. Batman, after Mr. Terrific walks away, says to June that he does agree with everything that she's saying, that the League and the Challengers need to work together on this, despite what Mr. Terrific is saying, that the Challengers need to be quarantined and examined because he believes that something is going on with them and that they have been compromised by the Darkseid anomalies. Batman is still, as usual, being Batman and questioning everything, but he does still agree with the Challengers. But June is now in quarantine with not fucking Rocky. Well, she's in quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we see Ultivac in space, saying, "I'm going to save us all," and that's where the issue ends. The mystery deepens, the plot thickens. Ultivac has a connection to Darkseid. Darkseid is death. Darkseid is gone. Death is gone. Can people die? Who fucking knows? Um, I am loving this fucking book so much. I have never enjoyed a Christopher Cantwell story so goddamn much in my life. This might be my favorite one of the All In series right now. Maybe second favorite. Our next book might be my actual favorite. But this isn't just because it's a Challenger's book. It's just it's got such a broad, deep mystery to it, that is so heavily tied into the ongoing story with All In as an initiative, that I really, really hope that this is one that has a lot to do with the overall story, and isn't just a patsy and it's going to have a shit ending. I really hope that's not the fucking case, because I am loving the fuck out of this. It is so good. Art's fantastic. Story is quite interesting. It's just heavenly interesting, especially if you are a fan of the Challengers of the Unknown. It just means so much more to you to read these stories. This is getting a 9.5 from me.
Ooh, that's pretty high there, George.
Yeah, George is pretty high.
George is really high, or at least has a pretty good buzz. All right, George. Um,
Yeah, take it easy there, George.
I
Who
think
the fuck is
that
George?
Jimmy's brother. All right. So originally Ultivac was actually a creation from scientists Felix Hess and Floyd Barker that they went to the Challengers and asked for help for, and eventually became a nemesis, a recurring nemesis for the Challengers. Um, it went rogue. It was not June's creation, but I like this better. It makes for some more interesting stories, at least much deeper ones than alien robot. Um, this works. The challengers of the unknown now infused with dark side energy. What does that mean? Um, it does keep being pointed out that they are powerless, so perhaps that might be changing soon for some or all of them. Everything is a mystery in this book, and I am hooked because I can't not know. I got to know all of it. What happens when a robot has an existential crisis? Maybe the end of the world. It doesn't look like it's anything good. The story sure is, though. I gave it an 8.75 out of 10.
Hell yeah. Well then,
You doing all right there, Rob?
a lot of questions.
Lots and lots and lots of questions, indeed, in and around the Watchtower. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
The question all along the Watchtower, number 3, written by Alex Segura, art inside and out by Kian Torme, with colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr. and lettering from Dave Sharp. The case continues, who is trying to take over the Watchtower. First, Conduit showed up and then was captured. Then Eradicator showed up and then was captured. Ken Kawa, member of the Challengers of the Unknown, Fearless Adventurers, and Watchtower maintenance team, was nearly killed. But what was all
But then
behind
captured.
this? Yeah. What was all behind this? Well, after we see both Blue Beetles taken out, the plan finally comes into place, and it's too late to prevent it. See, they went after Ken because, as maintenance, he knew every square inch of the Watchtower. And then they were able to figure out how best to invade. Standing in front of the question and Batwoman is the newly freed Conduit and Eradicator, accompanied by their accomplice that set them free and did a bit of mind controlling others, including Batwoman. That was Nightshade. And we see the newly revealed boss behind it all. A familiar face to all of us, at least most. It's Hank Henshaw,
Dun,
the
dun, dun.
cyborg Superman. And I know that made Rob happy.
Oh God,
Renee
did it
and
ever?
Kate, not quite. They're in some big trouble. The Atom Project is known here, by Renee at least, but she says it's the program to restore all the powers correctly. But if you've read the Atom Project, you already know that it's a lot more than that. And so is the appearance of this particular group of villains. All Superman villains except Nightshade, who actually came with Captain Atom from Charlton Comics and continues to be a cool character. I hope that the book doesn't lose its feel. It almost had a noir quality to it without the pulp, and I've enjoyed it a whole bunch. The art is great to look at. I find myself looking at it after I've read the page. This is good stuff, really good stuff. I'm sad knowing that this story is the end of the book. Once this is wrapped up, we're all done.
Yeah.
But I can't go with emotion. I got to go with facts. And facts are this gets an 8.5 out of 10.
Well, the fact of the matter is, this is not getting an 8.5 out of 10 from me.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, this is getting a 9.
Oh.
Because fucking hell. Remember I said this might be my favorite book? And it's a tentative 9 right now. Let me finish my spiel and see if it might go up. Because
Very
Challenger's
well.
got a 9.5. Goddamn Cyborg
Goddamn.
Superman.
Yeah, right?
That's my spiel.
That's your spiel.
That's my spiel.
That's
I'm
all I
done.
need.
That's all I need. The Cyborg Superman. Holy fuck. Art really good. Story fantastic. Uh, excuse me. The mystery does feel a little cheapened now because I get we're gonna figure out more, but like now I'm just a little more confused. Um, it's okay, it's Cyborg Superman, but what's his end game here? You know, Cyborg Superman's whole end game over many, many, many years was dying, and now he wants
Yep.
to take over the Watchtower for some reason. It just seems a little out of character for Hank Henshaw. 'Cause that's not going to get him anywhere closer to death. It's if anything, it's going to get him closer to living forever. It just feels a little out of place for him. That's my only gripe. The rest of the story is lots of good stuff. It's fucking fantastic. The team of Batwoman in question, Kate Kane and Renee Montoya, is forever going to be one of my favorite duos in comics.
Oh
Um,
God, yes. I want to
yeah,
see them together more.
yeah. Like even if they're not in a relationship, which I'm fine with, just knowing they have that backstory for each other and knowing that they will still be reluctant partners and friends when they need to be with that sordid past of a failed relationship, I think makes it even juicier when they do team up together. Makes it so much sweeter to read because it feels so much more real, you know?
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
And that God, it just mm,
Yeah. It's
Saturday morning
so
cartoon
good.
kind of cool.
Yeah. It's fucking fantastic. So I love this book. I was very on the fence when the first issue was coming out. When I heard about it, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be good. This seems kind of weird. Why is the question on the Watchtower? She's like a street level detective. Why is she in space? And then nope, it's fucking awesome. And by the way, Rob, here's Cyborg Superman, one of your favorite villains of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, sold. Yeah, I lied. It's not getting a 9. It's getting a 9.25.
Oh yeah. That's how I saw that going. It
Yeah.
really, really was. Um,
It as much as I'm ecstatic about Cyborg Superman, it would maybe get a 9.5 if there was a bit more clear-cut explanation to why Cyborg Superman was doing what he was doing, even though I know that's probably going to have that conjecture next issue.
yep.
It's just because right now, with what I have in front of me, it doesn't make a lot of sense why he's doing what he's doing. It gets docked half a point or a quarter point. Um, but still, it's 9.25. It's fucking awesome. uh, so you said your thing, right? That you're good?
I am good,
Yeah.
and I am really good. I am so good that I'm gonna make that horrible joke
Oh,
one
God.
more time, Rob. Green
Oh, no.
Lantern Fractured Spectrum, damn near rectum. Number one. Rob, you want to give
Jesus
us?
Christ. For fuck's sake.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know what you're saying about Huntress and Red Hood. They wanted to join. I get
Yeah.
with the breakdancing, but all I'm seeing in that photo is Huntress kicking Jason Todd in the face, and he's trying to dodge it but failing.
Well, I mean, it is
That's all that
Huntress,
looks like.
and she can be temperamental. just facts of the matter, folks.
Yep, that's
That's just what it is.
that's that's what it is. All right, so this is Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum, number 1 of 1. The next Green Lantern epic starts here in a galaxy full of chaos. A new core must rise.
I guess it does look like she's
Yeah,
kicking him,
like his head's even
huh?
turned away from the heel of the boot because his cheek has got the heel in
Yep,
it.
that's a really bad perspective. Come
That's a
on,
no.
Huntress, you should do better
That's
than
a
that.
great fucking perspective. That's a baseball slide to the face if I've ever seen
Right?
one. Right?
Yeah, that shit hurts.
Yeah, Jason Todd's getting fucked up by Helena Bertinelli.
In a hardcore way. Let's get us back to that fractured spectrum cover
Yes.
though.
Yeah, what a
Golly, doesn't.
cover it
Oh,
is.
it is,
Yeah.
Rob. That looks so good.
That cover is by Fernando Blanco.
So many questions at the end of this book.
Well, we will get there. This issue was written by Jeremy Adams with art from V. Ken Marion, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Dave Sharp. And if you're reading this and you wonder, why does Kyle look so different? That's because it was being drawn by V. Ken Marion, and he has his own designs for Kyle's costume because he was going to write and draw a Kyle book way back
Yep.
when instead of a Kyle centric story, we got fucking Robins.
Yep. Which is, if I may quote us from the period of that time, bullshit.
Yeah,
We
there were
were
so many better stories in that round robin tournament.
universally upset when that shit happened.
I forgot about the round robin tournaments until just now.
And
And
also, I really, really like his design for Kyle. Just,
yeah, no, it's
I
it's
mean,
it's it's just subtly different. There's like a few alterations to the typical suit Kyle has always had, but
the
they're nice alterations.
the knee boots,
Yeah,
those are sick.
the extended shoulder pads.
Yes, and those are the primary differences that people are gonna really notice.
Yeah, the
The
mask is a
bot
little more detailed and his hair is a lot longer.
and the bottom of the chevron is at a bigger angle instead of being flat or just barely.
I don't think I noticed that.
The white part on his
Oh yeah,
costume.
so it is. Yeah, yeah. That whole thing is a little more defined.
Yep, I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it indeed.
yeah. It's a nice little design for Kyle's costume. I like
Yep.
it. All right, so we open our story at the Library of Forever, where the bookworm, if you will, is sorting things out, but then is found by none other than Nathan Broom, the Gray Lantern, the Sorrow Lantern, who is looking for one thing and one thing only. A round fractured piece of glass for helping for reading the book of Oa. We then cut over to Hal Jordan enjoying his sandwich in Parts Unknown, birthplace of many wrestlers. I thought
Jesus
Josh would
Christ.
pick up on that a lot faster, but and now he's broken. It may have been a delayed reaction, but it's a fucking great one.
Oh god damn it.
Oh shit! I made him snort. Did I catch you off guard with that one?
You caught me off guard a little bit with that one. I went tick tick. Oh, perfect. Okay,
I mean, it's
Jesus,
true. How many
it is true.
wrestlers are from Parts Unknown?
Oh, a lot.
There's so many.
So many good ones. So many not so good ones.
Yeah. All right, so he gets a communique from John Stewart of all people,
Of all
not the
people.
Daily Show, the Green Lantern. That it's time, he says, and then Al gets up on his way, and he flies across the universe at high speeds, even pissing off some nearby travelers. You're like, fucking Green Lanterns. Except it's untranslatable, so you don't know exactly what they're saying, but you get the gist. They're pissed off at Hal for nearly knocking their ship over. Um, Typical, just like fuck you, cop, kind of
Fuck
shit.
you, Gop.
Yeah. So Hal arrives
Fucking
to
Green
where he
Lanterns.
needs to be, and it's back on Oa, home of the Green Lantern Corps, where various members of the Corps, including Kilowog, who's yelling at Hal to get his ring ringing, sling that ring over to this giant fucking power battery you're holding because we need your goddamn help, you poozer.
Move,
Um,
boy, move.
yeah. So he gets his ring out and helps them land the power battery on Oa, which powers up the planets to 100%, and the core are back to full strength. This power battery, if you're wondering where it came from, is the one that was on Earth that Hal found. I
In
don't
the green.
remember what part of the planet it was in, but it was being protected by the green. It was part of that. It was hidden away on Earth. It is the new central power battery now on Oa, which I'll be
It's
honest,
very
am
interesting. It's an
surprised at.
interesting change of a chain of custody.
Yeah,
Okay, it was put there. I forget by who originally, but then it was placed in the care of
Jade
oh
Stone.
damn it, yeah,
Oh
say
no,
it
no,
a little louder.
well, I was gonna say Jade Stone, but it
Oh
was
no, before him.
no, it was Tom Kalmaku.
Yes. Which I mean, perfect character for that, right? And
Yeah,
then once Jade Stone shows up, this all powerful character, he gets to move on because I mean, obviously we need some defense now, and
yeah,
Jade Stone loses their power, has to stay close to the battery in order to be able to continue to live,
yeah.
and is completely happy to do so because it just wants to do that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I like what Jeremy Adams has done with Jade
Hell
Stone. The Jade
yes.
Stone is the guardian of the power battery now. No longer a connection to the Star Heart, is no longer being powered by that, but is now being powered by pure willpower Green Lantern energy.
Yep.
Um, but has to stay close to the power source because, wireless connectivity only has a distance of about 50 yards.
Yeah. Yep. Goddamn Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Even in space, Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah. No, we're
Um,
just kidding. It's not Wi-Fi. We're just making Wi-Fi jokes. Obviously, what their technology is green tooth.
God damn
But
it. Anyway, um, fuck's sake. Some interesting developments we see during this, which I did not mention the story because not story exclusive. Kelly is on Oa as well, up and walking around perfectly fine with the gauntlet still on her arm, and she is also
She
palling
got it back, I
around
guess.
with John's sister construct, who was
Which is
also,
cool.
yeah, it she is up and about as well, just doing her own thing and
And
working with Kelly to help make the city or the planets work perfectly with the new power battery. Also, we
completely
see
independent of John still. So I mean, I feel
exactly,
like
yeah.
this is this, she's I feel like that's a mystery we still have yet to have answered because she's a living construct.
I think that she might be the remnants of John's Godstorm power.
Ooh. Like just taking that. Oh my god, that would work.
Yeah, like she's
Because
just
Ellie was
like,
like a pure person, and then
yeah,
it took John's memories of her and formed a. Oh, that is
yeah, it's
excellent.
like his pure will
Hmm.
fashioned into a single construct that was brought to life out of love
Yeah.
for his mother, right?
Yep.
And he still had like some latent Godstorm power there
Yep.
when he made that construct. So stands to reason that that might be it because now he's got a ring.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's just what I think anyway. I could be
Yeah, which
completely wrong.
means that potentially Ellie very well could be the most powerful Green Lantern ever.
Or at least the most powerful construct.
Well, I mean, definitely the most powerful concept.
Yeah. Another bit of cool information here. We see Razor wearing the third color of ring that he's ever worn. Razor is now a Green Lantern.
Isn't that something?
That's hella cool.
Hell yeah. I mean, honestly, about time.
What the fuck?
I mean, hey, we got a musical appreciation for it. It was
I
honestly about time.
didn't even know
Sound
I
the
had
choir.
my sound on. That's fucking weird. Sometimes ads pop up and they take me to YouTube, and I don't know why. It's fucking annoying. Um, but yeah, no, we see Razor is now a Green Lantern, and he's in the same costume he's always had, but now it's green, and I fucking love it. Yeah, so the central power battery is on Oa, the one that was on Earth. Jadestone is standing guard over it forever. Um, and as he says at the end, I will protect it at all costs.
All
Uh,
costs.
all costs.
Don't fuck with me.
So,
I will mess you up like Black Lightning.
yep. Hella cool. So Hal then regroups with John and Kyle, where they are attending a little ceremony headed up by Jessica Cruz, where the Guardians have returned, and the Corps is back to full strength. And Jessica is giving what is essentially the commencement speech to the new Green Lantern Corps yet again.
She looks
How
dope, don't she?
she does.
She looks dope in them robes, dude.
Yeah, it's almost Guardian robes.
It is. They are. I think they are.
Yeah, I think they are.
With the Green Lantern symbol on it, contrary to
Exactly.
the other Guardians present.
Who have like every other color except green. There's not a single one of them that has a color that is green.
Nope.
That's quite interesting.
That's very interesting.
So her whole speech is about how the Green Lantern Corps will live on, but they do have their work cut out for them to once again prove themselves to the universe, and how the universe is in dire need of the Green Lantern Corps. With Thanagar in ruins, the United Planets in shambles, the Green Lantern Corps must shine a light across the universe to help save it once and for all. And that's when we hear a loud kaboom in the background. And then a glass shatter as not Stone Cold, but Guy Gardner and Nathan Broom are fighting around in the
Guy Gardner
sky.
316 said, "I just blast your ass."
And that is why I love that panel of fucking what the hell is the name of the book? That Green Lantern series from 2011 with Guy Gardner. So you have the right to remain silent while I kick your ass. I love that shit.
I like Guy Gardner now. He is. I'm really warming up to who he is now. That's good. He's not a spoiled brat.
Don't remember what story it was. It might have been in the 80th anniversary special. I think it was a Tomasi story. But I think it was John that said that there's not anybody else I would rather have by my side in a fight than Guy Gardner. Because like Guy will tank. He is, yeah. Guy will go up to the enemies and make fun of them and make sure he's taking all the hits so his buddies don't have to.
Yep.
Right? He'll take all the punches in the fight so his buddies don't have to take one to the face.
Yep.
It's a great fucking anecdote about Guy Gardner and who he is, and I love it.
Yeah.
But
fuck you.
You're cool.
You're cool.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. But I got you, okay?
Yeah.
I got you. I don't like any of you but her and him. But I got you.
Yeah.
That's so Guy Gardner. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yep. So yeah, he's fighting Nathan Broom, the new Sora Lantern. Um, and Nathan uses the new gray Sorrow energy
Sorrow. I'm
to
awful sorry. Awful sorry about the sorrow.
oh god.
God.
He's not sorry in the slightest.
No.
To make a guy feel remorse, potentially for Tora, I imagine. Because he starts crying and reminiscing about how he should have told her he loved her, but it's too late, etc., etc. John catches guy as he's falling out of the sky, and then Hal heads straight for Nathan because he knows who Nathan is anyway. They have a little bit of fights, but Nathan's got the upper hand with his power. But then he finds what he's looking for, and it is the Book of Oa. He takes off super fucking fast in a puff of smoke. Excuse me.
Sure.
And that's the end of the fight.
No more kaboom.
Guy screams, fuck, he has the book. Hal goes, what book? And that's when Guy bashfully says, well, here's the thing. We knew a long time ago. Yeah, you see, what had happened was.
What?
I love saying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
We've known for some time now that he had the Book of Oa in his possession.
Nobody else did, though.
Nobody else except for Shepard knew that.
Shepard knew that. Yep, you're right.
But Shepard found out the hard way. He had to fucking find it in his apartment, in a closet, in a pigsty, which is also what Guy's room on Oa looks like. But as Guy said, I know it's a mess, but it wasn't this bad before Carol's ex showed up. So I can only imagine it was only slightly better.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to call that a flat out lie.
Yeah. So they are all in there looking for a specific item. And while Guy is trying to look for it, he tells a story of what he's been doing. So after the Guardians initially, as far as they know, rewrote the Book of Oa the first time, he posed the question to his mind, who's to say they didn't do it before? So he went on a little bit of a fact-finding mission, even going to the aforementioned, as we saw in the first part of the story, Library of Forever, and started digging around in all sorts of archives and books to try and figure shit out and find as much information out as he can. Obscure alien writings he finds, all sorts of stuff, but he can't really get too far without the actual Book of Oa because none of it makes any fucking sense. And then when the Guardians disappeared and Theros took over, he took that opportunity to sneak into the chambers and swap the Book of Oa with a very, very passable fate. So he begins to study the Book of Oa, but again can only get so far. He knows a guy.
He knows a guy.
That guy, Lobo. So yeah, he can only get so far with the Book of Oa because he can't really read too much of it without this device called the Eye of Krona, which is something he read about in all his researching. And which we found out he did find it during that whole thing with fucking Brainiac and Zarnia. It's that story in Action Comics. I don't remember what the hell it was called now.
Oh, with the Brainiac Queen. I don't know what the hell the arc was called. It was nonsensical William shit.
But yeah, that whole subplot with Guy Gardner, and he was trying to find Lobo, and he ended up with the Zarnians, but he found the Eye of Krona. Now he has it. and he was able to study with some stuff with the Eye of Krona. He finds out that the Book of Oa was not written just one way, but 6 additional different ways in all the different colors of the spectrum. So
Boom.
for
Oh, a drop.
yeah, with the Book of Oa, there was also the Book of Red Lantern, Orange Lantern, Yellow Lantern, Blue, Indigo, and Violet Lanterns. Hal turns to the Guardians that are with them and says, "Did you know about this?" But as they remind the Lanterns that they are not the same ones as before, so this knowledge is lost to them. They have no clue what the fuck that is about.
Collect call to Ganthet. Collect call to Ganthet.
All right. How do we get in touch with the Quintessence?
Yeah, right.
Does the multiverse have long distance calling?
Right. I can't find the Phantom Stranger in the phone book.
Yeah. Somebody get Isaiah on the line.
Right.
Right. So Guy figures with the information that he has gleaned from the Book of Oa and the Eye of Krona, he figures that what Nathan is after with the Book of Oa is the plans to build a central power battery, which is very bad because if he's able to do that, who knows what he could do next. So the plan now is to stop him. Hal says, gather the troops. The Green Lantern Corps is back on, and we have a job to do. We have to stop Nathan from building a lantern power battery of the Sorrow Lanterns and basically bringing despair to the universe. Quite literally despair, where everybody's just going to like feel remorse for the weirdest shit. That's where the issue ends.
Everything.
The next epic has begun, continued in Green Lantern number 19 and Green Lantern Corps number 1.
That's 2 books.
2 books.
2 books.
Fucker.
Now, who is going to be the creative team on Green Lantern Corps number 1, Rob?
Well, it will be Jeremy Adams writing.
Excellent.
Hold please while I look up the artist.
So he's going to maintain the Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern, or was somebody taking over Green Lantern?
No, he's going to be running both.
Hell yeah!
As far as I know.
Yeah, that's awesome news. That's really awesome news.
Ooh, I like the cover. The logo.
The logo.
Yeah, there's a new logo.
New logo for what?
For Green Lantern Corps. Let me send it in our Discord chat. And maybe you can put it up on the screen here.
Absolutely can. Send that on over.
Sending it to our private chat. Actually, no, I'll just send it to the our team chat here. You see it there. So yes, Jeremy Adams, Morgan Hampton, Fernando Pasarin. Look at that logo. I dig it.
Heck yeah. That's a really cool cover. Look, they did not include Kyle's redesign, which I feel is unfortunate.
Well, that redesign is pretty much only V. Ken Marion doing it. That's like his own personal design for Kyle. Nobody else does it.
Well, it should be adopted because Kyle looks great like that, but that looks great.
Yeah.
And I love that it's Simon, Kelly, and Joe that's up at the top of it. The 3 most underserved, but really good Green Lanterns.
Right.
It's going to be fantastic. Especially with Jessica Cruz at the helm of Oa. I can't wait to see what that's going to be all about.
Yep. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope so. But it's being, as far as I can tell, co-written from Jeremy Adams and Morgan Hampton, and being drawn by Fernando Pasarin, with Claire Albert and Eric Prianto providing inks and colors.
This sounds good to me.
And the variant covers are also dope as fuck.
Yeah, but there's a lot too.
Ooh, Green Lantern Corps number 2 covers are also dope as fuck.
I bet they are. I bet they are indeed.
Um. All right.
Damn it,
So
erect them.
Jesus.
You me.
um. Sorry, I'm also trying to confirm that Green Lantern. That Jeremy Adams will be writing it going forward.
All right, and then like, when's he coming on the show?
Yeah, it is Jeremy Adams writing it going forward. I'm gonna get in touch with him very soon and see if I can get another appearance from Jeremy Adams onto our humble little show here.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So, as for Fractured Spectrum,
Yes, sir.
uh, Fractured, it is not. It is fucking dope. It is solid. It is a very good start to what have dubbed over the past couple of months season 2 of Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern stories. Um,
The brand new beginning.
yeah, complete with a brand new spinoff.
We have absolutely no idea what the emotional spectrum is now.
No,
We've moved the battery from Earth and away from the green into with Jadestone on Oa. That's what we've seen. We've seen the Green Lanterns begin to form. We've seen all of the Guardians, including Jessica Cruz, all representing different cores of the Lanterns. We know that there's different books for each of the Lanterns. But where do we go from there? Rob, how can people be complaining that this is more of the same?
because all they're reading is the synopsis and they're not reading the issue.
I want to slap them. I want to slap them. I want to
Yeah,
slap them hard.
yeah.
Wake up, people. It is far more than a synopsis. Get in there. You know what? As far as the synopsis goes, I appreciate that. I'm the guy that hates it when you see the whole movie in a minute and a half trailer. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Damn it.
Made you snort again. Well, you know that last trailer did give away the whole fucking movie.
Gave away the entire fucking movie.
Yeah. But there's so many questions still, and this issue didn't answer any, and instead provided us more questions.
You
But
get a
I
question. You get a
am
question. You get
okay
a
with that
question.
because now we have the idea of what the fuck is up with all these 6 other books.
Right?
There's the
And I
Book of
mean,
Oa
this
being
is
written
what
7 different
drove
ways.
it's what drove uh Kyle crazy there before he developed the White Lantern. It was that instability of the emotional spectrum. All of those people out there across the galaxy that have these new powers and they don't know what. So does that mean that there's these people out there that have these powers and they don't have rings?
I don't know if it's that because that has not been showcased yet. It's only been shown to be ring wielders had the ability to cross the emotional spectrum.
I mean, up until this point, but I mean, so are are they saying that new rings have just been generated and sent out across the universe and
It
nobody
could be.
understands why?
It could be
That's
because
scary
the
as
power
hell.
batteries that did exist are all gone, but it hasn't stopped other rings from working. Like
Well,
Sinestro's ring still works, but both the
Sinestro's ring
red
still
and
works.
yellow power batteries have been destroyed.
We know Sinestro's ring still works, but we also know that essentially what happened is that the and this opens up a whole new can of worms. The Yellow Lantern just consciously decided that it was going to turn itself into the living embodiment of Kilowog. That is why Kilowog is still alive.
Yeah.
So is
It,
that all that Kilowog is? And is natural personality Kilowog enough to keep the natural instinct of the Fear Lantern at bay?
so here's what I'm thinking. And this just popped into my head now.
Oh, it just popped
Putting
into
some
your head
stuff
now.
together.
Do
Um,
tell.
Central batteries are gone. The only one that exists now is the Green Lantern one, and that's because there was a secondary one built,
Mm-hmm.
right? All the other spectrum, or the rest of the spectrum, all the other colors, the central batteries are destroyed. But the
Yes.
rings are still working. But if you look,
We know that they're all destroyed for sure, right?
yes,
Okay, okay.
yeah, I
And
think there might be one that Theros couldn't get to, but I don't remember which one that is.
it wasn't Indigo, it wasn't Larfleeze, right?
It
Um,
might be Star Sapphire.
no, I think. Oh, it would
Because if
have to
you
be
remember, there
right.
was that mission that
Mm-hmm.
Jessica was on where she like was able to save the central battery kind of covertly.
And yes, and I
I
think
just don't
that's
remember which one that was.
I think that has to be the Sapphire because that's the only other lantern out there right now that's not green that has a power set other than Sinestro.
Yes.
So Kilowog is
I
keeping
mean that again that
Sinestro's
we
ring
know of.
powered. Right. As far as what we know right now, Kilowog is keeping, or what we can assume is Kilowog is keeping Sinestro's ring powered, and Star Sapphire Carol has the ability because that lantern that Cruz saved was the Star Sapphire lantern.
No, Kilowog has nothing to do with Sinestro's ring because Sinestro's ring is red now.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So that leads me to my point is that I know they had Hal, Jeremy Adams had Hal saying that he thinks Kilowog became like the embodiment of the yellow battery for a
I
moment there.
hope that means
But
that
I
every
think
other
that's just a
lantern
patsy.
chose that.
Well,
No, like I want Dexstar to be the living embodiment of the Red Lantern now, please.
that's the thing. I don't think it's a thing about living embodiment. I think it's a thing about whatever emotion they're feeling the most at the time.
Ooh,
Because if you
fuck,
remember when Sinestro started manifesting the red energy, he was just pissed off.
he was.
He couldn't get off Earth. He had no ring. He had no direction. He had no purpose. He was hiding in amongst these pitiful humans that he can't stand. He can't get back home to his planet, which
How does he
God only
change though?
knows is what's happening. And that all he was feeling was anger about his at the time predicament.
He had a
Um,
yellow ring, right?
yes,
At the
but
time.
the battery was gone.
Right.
He didn't know that, but
Right.
that's why his ring wouldn't work. But the emotional spectrum is all fucking wonky right now. So
And it
he's not feeling fear. He's not feeling the ability to instill fear. He's just feeling anger. So the only way his ring would work is for it to convert to red because that's the only emotion he's feeling at the time.
but
He
we know
can't
for
use
certain
fear
that the
because he
Red
doesn't have fear.
Lantern battery was killed, right?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. The new spectrum has nothing to do with the central batteries. It has to do with the emotion that is controlling the person at the time of the energy spiking.
But then what powers the rings?
Emotion.
Who? Okay, so but there has
So the spectrum, the emotional spectrum is always, if you remember,
what
Venditti's
I'm getting
run.
at is like the central network of that emotional spectrum has to have some kind of a basis so they're no longer like really lanterns. Like the Green Lantern now has a new lantern battery,
Yes.
right?
So that whole thing
Kilowog
was
aside, where do the rest of these
that's what I'm trying to get at.
rings come from and get connected
That's
to?
that's that's what I'm trying to get at here. So if you remember, the Green Lantern central battery wasn't really the only power source. It's not the only way for the rings to work. It's just a way for the rings. It is essentially a router is all it is. It gathers energy from the emotional reservoir and sends it out into the world. And it's so much bigger because it needs that extra Wi-Fi, you know?
Right.
So
Green
it's able
tooth, but
to
yes.
reach the furthest reaches of the universe, so the lanterns are able to charge the rings from far away. Um, at least that's what it, over the years has been retconned into.
Mhm.
The other central batteries kind of just de facto happened because it was a green one and needed the same sense of being.
Right.
But the rings themselves don't necessarily need the central battery in order to function. Um,
As we saw with Hal being able to produce a ring and make it work out of Manhunter armor that had been exposed to Green Lantern energy.
exactly.
Or
And
Owen energy, excuse me.
John being able to activate a dead Green Lantern ring from Varen and turn it into his own ring,
Hmm.
right?
Being able to transfer the um,
Godstorm power.
Godstorm. I
Yeah,
keep on wanting to call it Godhead, but that's wrong.
yeah. No, that's very wrong. Um, that's a wrong. That's that story is so wrong. Um, right. So, and I know some people are going to say there's that idea that in the past when the Green Lantern central battery has gone dead, so have all the rings. And I say that's because they felt fear.
Interesting point of view, Robertson.
Yes. It's
Very
all
interesting.
about emotion. The emotional spectrum is in disarray, hence the term fractured spectrum. The emotional
Damn near rectum.
reservoir, if you remember Venditti's Green Lantern run, he had the concept of the emotional reservoir, which was the be all end all of emotional spectrum energy. And that
Right?
is where it all came from. And the central batteries just drew on the reservoir. The emotional spectrum energy is always there. The central battery is just a conduit to draw it from the reservoir. But the emotions are what powers the rings. The ring can only work if the person has the emotion that corresponds to that color.
Yep.
So Sinestro was feeling nothing but rage. He was not feeling any fear. He was not feeling any ability to instill fear. He was just feeling anger. That's why he turned red. Kilowog was blasted out of the sky by yellow lanterns in a 1v3 fight, and he fell into the yellow lantern as it was about to blow up. That's going to scare the pants off of anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of giant ass Green Lantern ring slinging poozer you think you are. If you're Kilowog, in that moment, you're going to like, well, shit, I'm about to die. I'm a little scared, right? There goes the last of the bowl of Axions, right? That's why he became yellow because he was scared shitless. Um,
Perhaps.
yeah, and it also begs
So
the question.
you don't think that the Yellow Lantern did transfer itself into Kilowog?
No, no,
Do you think that's just Hal being
confused
hmm,
because he
okay?
doesn't know anything, just like the rest of us.
But if it
He's
turns out you're
trying to
wrong, are
figure
you
shit
gonna
out.
be okay with that?
Yeah,
Are you?
yeah. No, this is not me trying to say that I'm right. This is me trying to figure things out and speculate.
No, I know, but what
Yeah.
I'm asking is like if it turns out that we're looking at the fact that Kilowog, one of the strongest Green Lanterns, truth strength turns out to be rooted in fear because the Yellow Lantern actually did transfer itself to Kilowog. Are you going to be okay with that?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Ain't nothing
Sounds
wrong with that.
cool.
Right now he's slinging green colors.
Pew
So
pew, motherfucker.
It's just it's all conjecture right now. That's all it is, right?
Yeah,
Uh
so that's just
if
that's so
if
much fun. I don't care.
that that could be an interesting avenue because that could mean that certain lanterns right now will become the new avatars, right? The new oh my god, what the hell were they called? Like Ion, Parallax, Predator.
Alien. You
you,
remember?
you know you know what I yeah,
We have
but
Predator that looks like Alien. I want an alien that looks like Predator.
exactly. But you know what I mean, like those fucking oh my god, what are they called? There's Butcher,
Durlans.
Obsidian, not Durlans. What the hell? Entities.
Always blame it on the Durlans.
Yeah. That various lanterns could become the new entities. Um, but I guess we'll have to see. But that's my theory right now is that the new spectrum is just corresponding to whatever emotion is most apparent in the person at the time of the ring becoming powered. Um, so it's not just random. It's even if you think back to the run that shall not be named, John brought the power battery back, and Badge became a Blue Lantern because maybe Badge
What
was feeling a bit of hope that the Greens were back.
what run?
Right?
What run was that?
The one that shall not be talked about.
Which one?
The one that shall not be talked about.
Damn
Mostly because at this point I can't remember the writer's name, but yeah, I will not talk about it except for the end.
it. Gotcha.
Because that's the only interesting part. Um, but yeah, no, that's my theory right now. And even down to Kyle with the White Lantern ability, like for some reason that's just disappeared and he's back to green. But at the time, he was feeling maybe all emotions at once, as we could see his body was glowing all the colors of the rainbow, and
Yep.
that fashioned himself back into a White Lantern
And I mean, I think that I think that that was only because
because of his
he,
connection, right?
yes, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just, I think it was, that connection that brought him back to that, and really, he was the only one of them that could have harnessed that to fight against Thanos, or not Thanos, Theros.
Theros, yeah. But yeah, no, that's what I think is going to be happening. Um, and as for the Sorrow Lanterns, I'm just like super fucking curious what's going to happen with Nathan Broom. I'm super stoked to see what's happening with the Sorrow Lantern and if Nathan is going to succeed in making more Sorrow Lanterns. Because what the hell is that going to look like in the future? And are there any other lanterns up Jeremy Adams' sleeve?
I freaking hope so, man. And if it comes down to the other Lantern cores being extremely limited because the other Lanterns did happen to find um, people to take refuge within, I am so looking forward to that. I definitely have obvious preferences. I have personal preference, like obviously, the Indigo Lantern going into Saint Walker. Personal preferences like Dexter getting the Red Lantern, um, and Larfleeze getting the. I mean, can you imagine Larfleeze with the lantern with the battery itself infused in him? Oh my God! I want to read a 6 issue, 3 issue mini. Maybe six would be too much. Of that, that would be a lot of fun. Um, I think Sorrow makes so much sense now. The more than one book of Oa, batteries back on Oa. I mean, it took it away from the green, moved it to uh, Jade Stone. I mean, it's been handled so flipping perfectly, man. There's so much new that's going on in the Lantern universe, and yet somehow it does feel like it's going back to normal. It doesn't look anything like what we've had before, at least, not at this point. But for some reason, I say it feels like it's going back to normal, but honestly, I guess the right words to use is it feels like it's finally getting it right.
Yeah.
And and it's definitely spoiler alert, my favorite book of the week. This just tells me that at least the next 2 years of Green Lantern are going to be great.
Yeah. I fucking hope
8.75
so.
out of 10.
Yeah, this is gonna getting 9.25 out of 10 from me.
Hell yes, my man. I suppose we should go ahead and try and wrap things up now that we've spoken so long about everything under the sun.
Yeah.
Um, I'll kick us off. It was easy for me to figure this one out, even with the adjustment that I had to make earlier. My top three, number three is Action Comics 1082. Uh, thank you, John Ridley. Number two is Black Lightning. Number three and number one, obviously, is Fractured Spectrum. Number one, that was just awesome. Um, my favorite moment. I loved seeing Jess in her new role as the Guardian, the Green Guardian of Oa. That was awesome. But my favorite moment was in the New Gods when Barda slung a diaper at Scott and said, "You're on diaper duty forever." That is my favorite moment this week.
All right. For me, I'm going to have. Where do I put that or that?
That or
Number
that.
number three, I
You
have a
can get with
tie.
this, so you can get with that. So
So
you can get with that.
yeah, number three, I have a tie between the New Gods and Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum. Number
Mm,
two, I have the Questionable on the Watchtower. Number one is Challengers of the Unknown. Number two,
wow.
um, my favorite moment is also going to be from the New Gods, um, but a little bit before Barda throws the diapers at Scott. Instead, when Scott finishes the letter, puts on the table, begins to sneak out, turns a corner, and sees Barda in full costume standing there waiting for him. He
He
goes,
goes, "Oh
"Oh, what
shit."
the shit! You
That was
were
great.
just asleep. What the
You're like,
fuck?" It's like, you're not
that
trying to
was
leave without me,
spectacular.
are you?
Mm. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, baby, no.
I promise. No, never.
No, he didn't. He didn't lie to her, but that was great, man. That
Yeah,
really was.
yeah,
Um,
that made me laugh.
well, and hopefully we'll have something to laugh at, gawk at, and just downright enjoy next week when we take a look at Detective Comics 1093, Absolute Woman number 4, which I do believe we are doing our Absolute show. Is that right? No, it is not next week. That'll be the week after next. So
Yeah.
we won't be looking at Absolute Wonder Woman number 4. We will be looking at Detective Comics 1093, Superman 22, Justice League Unlimited number 3, Wonder Woman number 17, Green Arrow number 20, The Flash number 17, Catwoman 72, Harley Quinn 47, Black Canary Best of the Best number 3, Power Girl 17, Metamorpho the Elephant. God damn it.
Close enough. He's kind of ugly.
The Element Man number 2. So one of these days, my man, one of these days I'm gonna get it right. DC Horror presents number 4. We're missing Creature Commandos. They usually come out together. And then finally, Little Batman month 1 number 3. And again, guys, I promise you, if you pick up Little Batman month 1, you won't regret it. You're in for a good amount of chuckles. All right, and that is everything that's coming out next week. We'll be covering it either on our main All In show or for the honorable mentions because Geek Matrix is all in on DC. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases in one show or another. Same geek time, same geek channel ish. And that's the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.